Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom.
We are broadcasting live. We are ISBHPK. We are located at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas. We have classes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesday, 7 to 9. Friday, 9 to 11:30. And we also have Sabbath class, 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. We have classes live. So if you have any questions, you can text us on YouTube. We also have a donation number if anybody would like to give. Anything would help. Everything from pens, books, papers, we also have a Wells Fargo account. So if you guys would like to donate as well, the donation account number is 101-5806-167. It is a Wells Fargo account under the name Israelite School of Biblical History. If you guys have any questions, we will be answering questions at the end of class. So we'll give you guys a couple minutes, and before we actually start class, if you guys got any questions you want to put on there. And y'all got any questions here? All right, so we'll give a couple minutes, see if the Ustream picks up. Tonight's class, we'll be going over signs of the times. Do you believe? And the reason I chose this class is because a lot of times people say they believe the world's ending. You know, they talk like they believe it's ending, but they still trying to invest in things that are in the world. You know, whether it's, everything from a job. Not saying you can't have a job, but where is your heart and your spirit at? Is it solely involved in your job? Like, I know people that live and die just to work because they're making that money. So that money becomes their God, and they start putting faith on the back burner, because the bigger your check is, the less faith you get. Because you start looking at it like, I don't need the Most High. And then you start looking at the churches. You start looking at all these things in the scriptures that the Most High already told you was going to be a sign to tell you that the end is coming. So that's why I chose tonight's class, man. So you guys can, hope y'all take good notes, definitely. And we're going to give them a couple minutes before I go into this class. If anybody got questions.
Signs of the time, sir.
Yes, sir. Do you believe? Yeah. That's what I got it from.
There you go. You funny. I was listening to that yesterday.
And once again, we are broadcasting live, so if you guys got any questions, feel free to text us. So do we got any questions on there so far? Anything? How many viewers we got? Okay. So nobody have any questions in here? No?
Is it wrong to go to church on Sundays?
Well, look at it this way. I've been going to church my whole life. I ain't learned nothing. So, I mean, I invest where I'm learning. So I've been learning at this location, in this program, since I've been here. So I don't feel the need to invest anywhere else, just to simplify that question, because it's about learning. It's about understanding the scriptures. And when I was going to church, there was no understanding being given. There was just a bunch of people that wanted to congregate, have the Holy Spirit. but I can't take that home and feed my kids. So, to answer that question is you got to see what's profitable for your spirit. And church really didn't do it for me. So being in class, being able to be edified, giving precepts, being able to take notes, something that you really can't do in church, because they're not really giving you scriptures, they're giving you, what's it called? Testimonies. When I don't need to know how you was feeling at 13. I need to know how to fix my family, how to raise my children, how to clean up myself, how to feed my nation. So to answer that, you just got to kind of, the scripture says, judge the spirit by the spirit. You know what I mean? How we looking? All right, so I guess we just go right into this class. If y'all got any questions, just make sure you send them into the YouTube link so that we can see your questions and we'll answer them towards the end of class. So once again, you can title this class, Signs of the Times, Do You Believe? And the first scripture we're going to go to is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 36. And you got to make sure you read loud, and because it's not about us, we got people watching us online as well as listening to us.
Come. 24 and
36. First of all, how many of y'all believe that the world is ending? Like, seriously, when you hear that the world is ending, what do you think when you hear that? Like, what goes in your mind when you hear people tell you that the world is ending?
personally, just when I heard that the world is ending, that for me just meant that I need to find how to get salvation. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, I mean, like,
Destruction.
like what I mean is this: if sitting in class and then we go over scriptures and we show you the scriptures that the world is ending. When you turn on the news, you see the national disasters. You see Esau playing with the weather. You're seeing people being killed for what they believe in. You see the earth is having earthquakes in diverse places. The same thing the scriptures talk about. So when you see these things in your mind and you hear somebody say to you, man, the world's ending. Like, how do you take that? Where's your mind at with that when you think of that?
I mean, really just seek the Most High.
Okay. What about you? Anybody? I mean, right, we all say that because that's the fear. The fear is not being on time. The fear is like, oh, he can't catch me at the strip club. Oh, he can't catch me with this sack of weed in my pocket. The world's ending, I gotta get right. It's deeper than that though. Think about that. What was you gonna say?
When I see or hear the things that the Bible prophesies, it makes me happy that I understand that these are signs that the end is near. That like they were saying, it is time that I focus on doing what's necessary to make it through, learning the attributes so that I can withstand or be able to make it through the things that are happening and the things that are to come.
So that means that you believe in the Bible. You believe everything you read in the Bible. So then why when certain arenas oppose you, your faith give up? In the sense of, if you already know that the world is ending and you believe in the Bible, then why, when earthly situations occur, you lose faith? Something spiritual. Because the whole point of the Bible is to gear us and prepare our mind so that as these things occur, we can come back to the scriptures and say, yo, this is where my stability is. It's not in my job. If I lose my job, it doesn't matter. My stability is in the scriptures. If I get dealt with like this, it doesn't matter. My strength is in the scriptures. So why does the faith waver when a situation in the world occurs, knowing that this world is going to pass away anyway? See, you got to see that there's so many obstacles that show you that if you really believed in the world ending and you believed in the prophecies, then the faith would automatically be there. That's the most important thing you got to have. Without faith, it's impossible to please the Most High. So that should be the structure. So we're gonna go over some scriptures tonight because you got to see that we talk a lot. We like, yeah, we find the right words to pacify situations, but we really don't understand that you're investing more in the world than you are in the truth. Because you're setting up nest eggs for yourself when the Most High is already showing you that this is going to be done away with. Everything from the earth being defiled to the animals dying to people being fired from their jobs to these white Jesuses popping up to the Muslims popping up to all these fake religions popping up to these people saying, I got Christ in my church. These were all prophecies in the scriptures. So seeing it come to pass shouldn't be at all. You should already know. Like, yo, this is it's already been said. Why would I get faithless because this man did this or this woman did that? So let's read this.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man.
So you have to prepare because in that day and that hour, nobody knows when Christ is coming back. When Yahweh Shai come back, you're not going to have time to get yourself together, especially those that sit in class and have the ability to have the understanding taught to them. You're going to be expected right then and there to have done what was necessary for you to make it. Read.
No, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
So there's no tarot cards, there's no palm readers, there's no dark forces, there's no minions, there's nothing that can tell you when the Most High is coming back. So you can't prepare for this. The judgment that's going to be put on us is going to be a righteous judgment because you can't prepare for it. That means everything you were doing is what you're going to be judged on. So if it was not in your heart to put 110% in the Most High, then that's how you're going to get caught out there. Giving them 50% of your spirit and 50% into your relationship or 50% to your job or 40% to the Most High. And you're giving everything else to the Most High and 60% to your career or your college or these things you got to really take into consideration because no man will know when he's coming. So you have to be prepared. Read.
Verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
What does that mean? Does anybody know the story of Noah? I know you do.
Yeah, the story of Noah, like as in the flood and the things that were going
Right,
on during that time,
right.
like you said, it's going to be given into marriage. They're going to be at parties. It's going to be
Right.
like everything's going to be regular, and then it's going to pop off.
Right. And that's what he's explaining to you. Just like Noah, when Noah was building that ark in the land where it never rained, and everybody was laughing at him, as we out here handing out flyers, and as we out here dealing with people that don't really want to hear it, and they shun us, and they push us off, just like the days of Noah. That's how the Most High, that's how the Son of Man gonna come. So just like if you look out here today, everybody clubbing, everybody partying. They try to make you feel bad. Oh, girl, you don't go out? Oh, what, you on that Bible thing? Oh, yeah, you're right. I should be with you. That's why if you understand the story of Noah, only him and his wife and his children made it. You got to see 8 people, only 8. So you got to look at yourself and see how blessed you are to be in this classroom. To be able to log in online and get questions answered, to be able to have a class breakdown to help your spirit. You should have appreciation to the Most High because you can be left out there like those men were and those women were when the Most High shut that up. When he shut up the ark, there was a spirit on the ark where no man could enter. So you can party, pop mollies, whatever you do, but just know that. Read it again, verse 37.
But as in the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Just know that while you doing you, when Christ comes, that's how you're going to get caught out there. Read.
Verse 38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage.
So they was having sex, orgies popping off, getting kidnapped, chilling in the AC, right? Riding around, blowing weed. They was doing that. You know what I'm saying? They in the momo, getting it in, sex, getting married. You know, sex is marriage. We wasn't just talking about, yo, we finna go get married. They were having sex. They were doing what you see out here. When you go to the club, you got half-naked women. You got boys sleeping with boys. They were doing the exact same things that you see them doing here. As you invest in the truth, this is what's going on out there. The more you get pulled out of the world, you're supposed to be able to sit back and look at the world and compare it to the Bible and say, yo, this was already prophesied. That's how you know Christ is getting closer, because it's easy now. Remember, homosexuals had to be hid. Now it's easy. They're everywhere. They got more rights than you. So you got to take these things into consideration as you are studying, as you are putting classes together. You got to look at the world and you got to see it for what it is, and you got to make the right investments. Read.
Until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
So they were doing all this until the day that Noah went into that ark. Read.
Verse 39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away.
Took some of them?
All.
Took all of them away. So all you slick talkers, all you jive turkeys, you know what I'm saying? All you want to be, you think you smarter than the average bear? You run around here, you try to play the Most High with the spirit talk, but inwardly, your mind is corrupt, your actions are corrupt, how you deal with people is corrupt. And then you think that because you're in the camp or you're around scriptures, or you can quote scriptures, or you're in a church, or you're in a men's biblical Bible group, if you're not doing the works of the Spirit, when that door gets shut up, all of you will be destroyed. The churches, the everything out there will be destroyed. Read.
So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Read.
Verse 40. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left.
So you shouldn't be, the field represents the world, we know that. You shouldn't be discombobulated when the Most High snatched you up and your friend ain't here. He snatched you up because this is one of the prophecies that two of y'all be out there and one of y'all be snatched up and brought here to learn. You can't compare yourself unless you have the desire to be out there. Nobody in the world should be able to influence you or make you feel like you're missing out on something. You know how it is, you go visit family and they're like, well, you ain't been by since last Christmas. Like, no, nigga, I ain't been by here like 3 Christmases because I don't celebrate it. But you start reflecting on that like, yeah, you're right. I ain't been here like a whole Christmas, Mom. Your old present's still in the closet. Like, you start putting that in your spirit like, yeah, she right. Yeah, she right. You comparing, you should feel privileged to know that the Most High chose you to learn the Bible, where people still stuck on Christmas, Thanksgiving. They still dressing their kids up like ghouls and goblins. Got them out in the streets begging for candy. You should feel thankful that you can break down John 3:16. You should be able to be thankful that you can break down Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. I can show you about slavery. I can show you who we are according to the scriptures. So you can't be upset when you get taken out of the world, because the Most High said this was one of the prophecies, that 2 of us will be out there struggling, trying to pay bills. 2 of us will be out there hungry. One of us ready to sell dope. The other one ready to kill, rob, and steal. The other one is doing this, another one's doing that, and then one day I ain't with you no more. I'm over here. That's the love of the Most High, is knowing that He took you from that. Because when you look out there, they're still doing the same thing. If Robin was gonna get you somewhere, and you've been robbing for 5 years, don't you think if you ain't got a car, maybe you gotta change your job description? You've been selling dope for 8 years. You don't own a house. Don't you think maybe you gotta have a different job profession? But our people be so caught up in what they think they see, the illusions and the smoke screens of what the devil sets up. As we're gonna go through these scriptures and see, the devil makes you think it's good. Why? Because you see your boy ride down in the new car, but he ain't gonna tell you how he got it. He ain't gonna tell you how his soul is torn and how he feels inwardly. So that's why it's important to really see these scriptures. So read again. Where you at?
Matthew 24, chapter 24, verse 40.
Read.
Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left.
Read.
Verse 41. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left.
So there'll be people out there doing their job, working, and one person get fired and be gone. Their whole life about to change. You thinking, you get scared because your boss come at you a certain way and tell you, listen, I might have to let you go. That may be the work of the Most High to free you up so you can get in class. You can't be scared of the prophecies, the things that the Most High is trying to show us, because these are prophecies in the scriptures. Read.
Verse 42. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come.
You better watch. Because while you're investing in things in the world that don't have no value, you better be paying attention. When you're bringing the spirit of confusion in your household, you need to take that into consideration, because what if the Most High came 10 minutes after your unruly conversation? Your unspirit. You've been in class 20 years, but you come home with a demon on you, but then you say you believe in the scriptures, but then at the same time, your investment is on this demon on you, because when it's time to break it, you look at it like that's your precious. My pride is my precious. That's all I got left. Ain't no man finna tell me what to do. Ain't no man finna, whether you're a male or female, because we have structure here. We have a structure here when you come out of the world. That's what the world don't have, the structure. So you got to see that. It said, watch therefore, ye know not what hour your Lord do coming. What work will you be doing when the Most High comes? Where will your investment be at when the Most High comes? Are you going to be worried about your family? Not saying it's not about feeding the kids. What I'm saying is, what are you investing in? What scriptures do you bring into your household? Do you even pray in your house? What are you investing in? Do you have an understanding with your women and your siblings? That, listen, if the world was to blow up right now, we can't get caught up in the scrutiny of finding tunnels and water and food. And we got the Most High. Do you believe that, or are you investing in the world? Read.
Verse 43. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come in, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up.
Read it again.
But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come in, he would have watched.
See, if you knew that you were going to lose your spirit, you'd have been paying attention. If you knew that one time that you went out there was the last time that you may have made it back, you wouldn't have went out there. But that's what builds faith. That's what builds the spirit. That's what you're going to be judged on. Not knowing the time that Christ is coming, but saying to yourself, I have to get right. I can't invest in this. I got to get right. Why? I don't know when Christ is coming. So if you got an email to show you when Christ is coming, it would be real. You be sitting around here fake as hell, like most people do when they come. They just got this fake spirit, like, oh yeah, I'm here. And then because they think they got enough time, they'll go out and smoke another duty. They'll go out and pop that on the Sabbath. Where the brother at? What is this? Oh, they ain't show up today. Where they at? Oh, they out. They at the club. They think they got all the time in the world.
Let me get that one. Ecclesiastes in the Bible. Con what? You know where I'm going?
Ecclesiastes 8:11.
Yes, sir. I mean, just on what he's saying.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Because the sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
Right. And that's what this is what the problem is. You're taking the mercy, the grace for granted. And that's the point, you know, he just pointed out, is that instead of us looking at what's going on in society and how the Most High has delivered us, how we're supposed to take that grace that religions and the church has taught us to trample on, we're supposed to cherish that. That's what Christ is going to look at. Because are we going to keep the law to its full potential? Are you going to be perfect? Like, keep every law to its perfection? No. No, there's no way. You break one, you break them all. So he's not going to come back and say, oh, yeah, you kept all the laws. Right? Then it says you're saved by grace. Right? So you've had grace, so when you do mess up and don't keep the laws to its full potential, the grace is there, right? Okay. So if it ain't going to be by you keeping the law to its full potential, you can't do the works to the full potential, right, that you need to. So what is it you're going to be looking at? Faith without works is dead. You have the belief, but you fall short in works. Or you have the works and you fall short in faith.
In your intention.
There you go. He's going to look at your intentions, your sincerity. See, and that's what he said. That's what he's bringing out, is that you got brothers and sisters. This should be the first things that get your mind in the right place. You know it's the last days. You're looking at the signs and times. You're the ones that's supposed to be awoken, right? You're the ones that's supposed to be awake. But you take the grace, you take that, and you second question, you doubt, you fear, you in essence you trample on that grace. You understand? He's going to be looking at that little sincerity of you saying, you know what? I got to stay diligent. I got to fear. Even though if I do fall short, let me get back up and keep rolling. Right? Because a lot of people do that. You have a lot of people doing that. Oh, I guess I'm wicked. Let me just go. You come on now. Somebody that does that, I guess I'm off. You know what? Let me just be off. That was one real hard in this camp for a few years. You know what I mean? I guess I'm wicked. Let me just not fight anymore. Right? You're trampling on the grace. He's going to look at that little desire and to say, okay, you want it. But read on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse, Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 11. Mm-hmm. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
And what is the Most High saying here? He's long suffering. That's all it's saying. That he's long suffering. That he gives you a chance, right? That's what it's saying here. But what do those people that trample on that grace, what do they do with that? That long suffering? They take it for granted. Right? Go ahead.
Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So
what happens when they don't take that grace and run with the grace and use that grace to propel them in strength and power and righteousness and holiness? They get prideful. Well, I ain't got smacked. I don't see no lightning. You know what I mean? Brothers is telling me to stop smoking, but nothing ain't happening. Right? Brothers and sisters telling me to put away this, put away that, take this mind state off, but nothing's happening. You were supposed to look at the signs of the times and everything that Christ took you out of. Why do you have to go back? Right? But you know why this class is important? Because it's not only about, okay, the last days, you're going to be destroyed, but it's about you seeing that Christ is giving you something ahead of time. That's why it says, those that know of shall be with many stripes. Because you can't say you don't know. Right? Y'all see that? Okay, finish that.
That was it.
Okay.
Go back to go back to Matthew's 24 and verse, is that 30, 44, 40, no, 43.
43.
Read that again.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 43. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come in, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up.
Read.
Verse 44.
And just to say this too, it says in the scriptures, I'll get it. It says, how do you bind up a strong man's house?
How you bound to strong?
How do you get in a strong man's house?
Right. How do you get in the strong man's house? Right. You bind him up. A lot of y'all getting bound up in what you think to be important. We look at everything outside of the camp, like we look at the camp like that's what we gotta do, like gotta go to class. You don't see it as that's your way out. That's your way out. But you're looking at it like it's a burden to God. It's almost like some people look at the spirit of the Most High as I gotta go deal with this nigga real quick. Like for real, like you will see them, the way they present themselves, when you get dressed, how we carry out. We Hebrew Israelites. I mean, we have a standard. We're transitioning from what the world gave us to what the Most High has given us. That means that there's a standard here. That means that when we wake up in the morning, there's a standard. There's no more, let me just be who I am and graft that into what you brothers and sisters got going on. That's not the camp. That's you in the camp. You got to transform and transition and put your, if the boss gave you a job and said to you, listen, Tommy, I'm going to make you CEEOO, right? Triple. I just need you to look the part, baby. You're not going to come in there like, well, this is how I feel today, and if you don't like it, you can just fire me because I don't really need this. No, you're going to look at it like, I'm CEO, triple. So you're going to look at that, and you're going to act the part. You're going to get up early, get your little frappuccino, macchiato, caramel latte. You're going to be in traffic, put up with the traffic, moving around. You're going to be having your favorite song on your way to the job. But why you won't do that for class? Why won't you have that urgency for class? Why won't you be the same person that'll pull up early, 15 minutes early to see if anything around the school needs to be taken care of? Why won't you be that same person to make sure you put stock in brothers and sisters that's laboring with you instead of boning out real quick as soon as class over? That's how you know where your spirit is. That's how you know, because when it comes to investing your spirit, you put it in the white man's kingdom and hope. You work for a check you hope you're going to get 2 weeks from now. You put more faith in that than you do in the scriptures when the Most High said he's not man where he should forget our labor. We're doing the work. You getting up, you being here, you setting up prayers, you trying to fix yourself is the work. Most High is not going to forget that. But read. Verse 44.
You didn't want that one in Mark?
Oh, yeah, read that real quick.
Mark chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods.
So what is your goods? What is your Ray? What is your goods? What do you consider to be good? Food. What do you consider to be good? Friends. Now, what do you, sis? What do you consider to be good for you? The gym. Okay. So I'm gonna show you something. You said your food, right? What do you do when worms take over that? Eat that up and you ain't got no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's pointless. Mm-hmm. Right. Friends, what do you do when they put you out the house and tell you can't stay there no more and just roll? I mean, it's real. What do you do then? You see what I'm saying? And in the gym, what do you do when your pastor's revoked and they say, listen, you can't get in if you ain't paid? See, our investments are in things that have no value. Your investment's supposed to be the Most High, the camp, and the truth, and the brothers and the sisters in the scriptures, and this is supposed to fortify your spirit because that's what we invest in.
I got one there. No, right what he said, Matthew 6, verse 19. Matthew 6, he keep using this word investment.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 19.
We always talk about this. Go ahead.
Matthew 6 and 19. Oh, yeah, brother. Yeah.
Good.
Lay not upon yourself treasures upon earth,
Right?
where moth and rust do it corrupt.
Just like you said, it's all going to be taken and stripped one way or the other. Especially for the chosen, because the Most High is going to show you what is more better feasible for you. So yeah, you'll get your pass revoked to where now you got to be at home and study. Right? Now your friends are not, it will be revealed they're not your friends. Why? Because the Most High wants you to put your friendship into the congregation to people like-minded. His food, carnal, clothes, cars, whatever it is, it's all going to fade away. It's all going to be destroyed. See, so, look at the key words he's using. Where you invest, where you lay your stocks in, your investments is important. See, think about what the Most High is saying here. Go ahead.
Slide.
Verse 19.
Verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Lay not up yourself treasures upon earth,
Right.
where moth and rust do it corrupt.
Yeah, it's the moth, the rust, whether it's clothes. We always say it. You get the 2020, what happens? You need the 2025, right? Or 2022. You know what I mean? It's like 2 years later, you already need the new. You get the 2000 Jordans, guess what? 2001, they're coming out with their new Jordans. I got to shoot somebody for those, right? That's how people think. They invest in the wrong things. They put their spirit, their soul, and you can see the levels. More people, like some people, man, it is whatever. Some people are gun-ho. They're gun-ho for these carnal things.
Sleep outside in front of the store overnight.
All right, we got I got a nice TV. Yeah, I mean, the Most High blessed me with a nice car. We pay our bills. That's fine. But if it gets took, or if it blows up, I'm not gonna blow my brains out. You know what I mean? My whole world doesn't end if my TV explodes or if my car gets crashed. Which usually every other year they do get crashed, and then you have to get new ones, right? Why? Because the Most High is always trying you what you invest in, and that's why people get hurt. You know what I mean? You get brothers and sisters that come in and they're like, I just don't understand. I thought they loved me. No, they don't love you because they don't know what love is. They don't know what true love is, so they're not going to love you like Christ. Like the people of Christ should, right? Whether it be the jobs or these things, you get fired. You like, I was there. I put my spirit in. They fired you like you was like you was nobody. You're like, hey, damn, I was there for the 20 years. Right? Why does the Most High do these things? Because to show America, right? Why the Most High got the cops whooping Israel's ass out there and shooting them in the face? And why? To show them, I'm going to keep showing you they do not love you. They do not love you, but Israel's still what? They're zombies. That's why there's another one, I think it's in Peter, it says, it's in the New Testament, it says about don't sleep. It's talk about sleeping, that we're children of the light. Quadraside, you can look for it. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 19.
Uh-huh.
And where thieves break through and steal.
Right, yeah. Or somebody steals your car. They did that to me. You know how many 300s I done had? I had like three 300s. They stole one of my 300s. Just picked the whole car up. I blamed it on Issachar. I didn't know, but I just said, damn Mexicans, man. Israel, man. They still. I didn't know if it was Issachar, but that's the first thing I blamed it on. I was like, Issachar. They're the only ones that'll pick your damn car up, right? And then switch the tags, the VIN number, and drive it around. I don't know if it was Issachar. I'm just saying though.
It is a crime.
It is. It's temporary. All of it. You get that woman you fall in love with. You give her your heart. You give her your soul. You give her your all.
And she's a drug addict.
Right. And then you find out she's a drug addict, right? That she loves the drugs more than you. Right? You know what I mean? Or, she's a hoe. Same thing with the guys. You give your spirit to this man and he's whooping your ass, right? And then you realize, damn, that's not a righteous man, right? These things, man, how many times have we done it? So this class is about waking you the hell up to hit you in the head. It's like these classes, this is supposed to be a registry in your brain, that something that keeps you going for righteousness. That's what this class is about. Like you shouldn't have to keep going over the same thing over and over and over to keep propelling you in the spirit. That's what this is about, propelling you in the spirit. How do you stay consistent? Why do we stay consistent? Because classes like these, we don't have to go over them. It's already there. I'm already looking at the times, the news, the animals washing up on the sea, like you said earlier, right? They were talking about these. I see this big ass whale. It's like, I thought it was only on TV. This whale was huge, washed up on the sea somewhere in Iceland or somewhere, right? This is the curses that the Most High has put on the world, right? But the sleep, did you find that yet?
Wow.
Okay, read on.
Verse 20. But lay up yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust do it corrupt.
Right, and that's what the point of this is. Now, and we're not going to go into it tonight, but how do you build your treasures in heaven? You know how to get the carnal? Get a job. Ta-da! The white man gave you that, right? Like, how do I get this? Get a job. How do I get that? Get a job. How do I get that? Get a job, right? How do you get a woman? Get a job. How do you get a car? Job. How do you get any carnal possession in this world? Carnality, right? See, but spiritual, how do you get those treasures that are in heaven? See, that's what this class is about, this last day class. Go ahead.
Continuing at 20.
That's it on that. One more, and then I'll bring it back to him. The one I keep quoting is 1 Thessalonians 5. He probably already has it on here. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3.
Right. All right. We're going to skip 3. You sure?
The timing of it.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Read that. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3.
Come.
We're going to read down. Go ahead.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Right. So, like, is it not obvious what's going on in America today? America, the world. You cannot be that asleep. You cannot be that asleep. And that's what the last days classes always prepare us and prep us for. To look at the signs. Now, a very key point, because somebody faithless is saying, oh, that's been happening since the beginning of time. There's been riots. There's been fluctuations of the weather, right? They've been saying that, right? And that's what they tell. Oh, that's been happening. The faithless people will say that. Well, how do you get past that and to keep your mind sure on what times you're in? What scripture? No. That's not the answer. How do you keep? Remember, the statement is, well, you know what? That's been happening since the beginning of time. Well, how do we know that? And how do we not just lose our faith because of it? Oh, they're right. You know, when you look at wars and rumors of wars, when you look at riots, that's been happening. When you look at the waters, floods, fires, that's been happening. Prophecy, yeah. What else? That knowing the time that is now is high time to wake up and sleep. That's good. But how? What else is a key? What?
The frequency of how often it's happening.
The frequency of how often it's happening. Very good point. But you know what? The scriptures remind us to say, as a woman in travail. If you statistically look at the riots or the uprisings, as they increase from, I told y'all this before, from like 2012, 2010 to now, it's further back than that. But I did it myself. I went online and Googled and looked at the statistics of how many wars and how they increase in vast number over the years. So, like a woman in travail, yeah, in the beginning, you don't have no contractions, right? No. But when that day gets closer, what happens? You get the, oh, right? And then it's fine. You might not get another contraction. But as it gets closer and closer, things start to escalate. So, yes, there's been fires. Yes, there's been earthquakes. Yes, there's been tornadoes. But now they're more frequent, and they're more powerful, and they're diverse, like the scriptures say. You understand? In places that you don't expect to be earthquakes. So this is how you got to keep your mind in the right place when dealing with the signs of the times. Because you'll get that faithless person, they'll run up to you, oh, that's been happening. Y'all see that? Go ahead, read on.
As travaileth upon a woman with child.
Right, as a woman with child. You see that? As a woman with child. So no, a woman just doesn't get pregnant and then pops out a baby. It's a build-up to the birth of us as a nation. Go ahead.
And they shall not escape.
Go ahead, read on.
Verse 4. But ye, brethren.
But ye,
brethren, are not in darkness.
Right, and that's the point. We're not we don't supposed to be. We don't supposed to be in darkness. Right? We don't supposed to be the blinded ones. Right? It's a very, and I keep going back to this point he made earlier, because what keeps you propelled and diligent in the truth? Because you're not blinded by everything, the calmness, the ease, the TV, the radio, the Netflix shows. You're not blinded by those things. All the series you got on your list, or you writing poetry to your boo. You know what I mean? You're not blinded by these things. You're still on the mission to lay your treasure in heaven. How many more jewels can I get on my crown for the Most High, for my soul? I got all these past sins. Well, how the heck do I get better at righteousness? See, but people that don't look at these things, they're blinded. They're in darkness still. They're going about with their everyday life, and they're putting all their treasures here in America. They're putting, I'm going to use his words, the stock. They're using they're putting their 401k into America, not unto Christ. Y'all see that? And I'll say it again for the ones that are going to hit us up. So what do I do about my job? So do we work? Yeah, we work. You can't be without lights. But that's not my focus. You understand? That's not our focus, right? Like, we don't live like the heathens live.
Like, your boss shouldn't be able to break your spirit. Like, you got to think about that. All the classes break down scriptures and everything you got. You got to think, like, how can your boss, like, you get a phone call and either a woman or a male, whatever, and you're like, what's going on, man? My boss is just vexing my spirit. That's because you invested too much into it. It's a job. You do your job. Like I told my Rev, you comprehend much in few words. When they ask you a question, you answer it according to what the script they gave you. They gave you a script before they hired you. We just expect the best of you to give 110%. And everything that happens, just make sure you're on ease about everything. So when they ask you, well, how do you feel about this? And we feel this, and this. Your reply is, well, I just keep giving 110%. And I make sure that I stay focused on the task at hand. Thank you. You're putting your spirit in it. Your boss is not noticing all your good work. And you're over here on edge because she didn't notice that I put all the paperwork in the exact same area in the right way, and the other people don't. And she is like, why are you even doing that when your notes should be like that? You should have notes for sisters, new sisters that come in where you like, hey sis, you dealing with that? Listen, I was dealing with that too. Here. You got a question?
Yes, and what is travail upon a woman with child?
It means the example I just used. As a woman bring forth a child, right? She has contractions. So you get pregnant, right? And then as those contractions come, when they come, they don't just drop on you, bam. right? You don't got no kids, right? Well, when you get it, you go, oh, what was that? You know what I mean? It's that first contraction, right? And then little by little, they build up until the birth. So that's what he's pointing out. That's how the birth of Israel is going to be, and that's how these pains as a nation, as a world, is going to overtake them. You see that? Okay. I wanted to get this too. It's on the topic, but this is cold. This is the Josephus. Remember, I'm gonna say it every time I read it. Josephus was a historian, and he gave his account of a lot of biblical things. And it's a few things in here that he brings out a little extra, but it's about Cain, and we're talking about treasures and putting your treasures in heaven as opposed to the carnal. But this is book 1, chapter 2, and it's the second verse. It says, "And when Cain had traveled over many countries, he and his wife built a city named Nod, which is a place so called. And there he settled his abode, where also he had children. However, he did not accept his punishment in order to amend it." So this is that spirit of Cain. Now, it's going to get to the point we're talking about. But Cain, when he did his wickedness, he wasn't about repenting.
Right.
That's why he said, "You of your father, you're the devil." He was a murderer from the beginning. You see that demon on black folks,
Right.
and obviously on the wicked, right? But you see it on a lot of Israelites. They don't want to amend. They don't want to make right. It says, "But to increase in his wickedness, for he only," this is the point, "he only aimed to procure everything that was for his own bodily pleasure." That's that spirit of Cain. It's like, I'm about getting. I got to get this. I got to get that. It ain't about seeking the Most High. It ain't about the kingdom of heaven. It ain't about righteousness, what's good for my spirit. It's about only seeking and procuring things that is for your pleasure. Whether it be a woman, a car, house, money, cash. That's the spirit of Cain that Christ warned us of. Though it, let me see. It says, though it obliged him to be injurious to his neighbors. So he didn't care who it hurt. Who it hurt. He didn't care. He was like, if I got to get this, what is the saying? By any means necessary, right? That's the hood saying, right?
Get rich or die trying.
Get rich or die trying. He says he didn't care. It says, though it obliged him to be injurious to his neighbors, he augmented his household substance with much wealth by rapine and violence. See, he executed his acquaintance to procure pleasures and spoils by robbery, and became a great leader of men into wicked courses. So, I just wanted to bring up that point to show you that the spirit of Cain is not worried about but pleasing that carnal mind. Right? Now let's jump back to the point. Let's go back to Thessalonians. Yeah.
Can I get the Strong's definition of travail?
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy.
Yes, sir.
The first one says the pain of childbirth, travail pain, birth pains. But then the second one says intolerable anguish in reference to the dire calamities precede the abatement of the Messiah.
Ooh.
It's coming.
Where'd you get that definition from?
That's in the Strong's
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's funny, they know.
Yeah, they know.
Right.
They know, but remember, it's their job to make it as though it's not happening. They're like the magicians, the Wizard of Oz. This is not really happening, right? Go ahead. The Jedi mind trick, right? Let's finish Thessalonians.
Come on, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
But yea, brethren, are not in darkness.
Right, we are not in darkness. He's speaking confidently, like, that's not you. But a lot of us is still in darkness. We shouldn't be, but it is. Go ahead.
That day should overtake you as a thief.
Right, and that's where we go back, as a thief. That day shouldn't overtake you. It shouldn't. But it is. It's going to get a lot of brothers and sisters because we take for granted the mercy of the Most High. We take for granted what He's given us.
You know that last part, it said, as a thief. It said, read that last precept.
Come. As a thief,
It says,
and that day should overtake you as a thief.
now, if you got any understanding about thieves, they take things that are valuable to you. Now, how can somebody take something from you if it's valuable to you, you put it in a position where it can't be took? That's why you lay things around, because they're not valuable to you. But when if you just look at Esau. You break into Judah's house, they had money under a mattress and a pit bull. Nigga, that's not a savings account. Like, what are you talking? And you look at Esau, they got cameras. They got cameras over here. They got alarms. They got safe. They got trap door. They got a room that'll just seal up, water fill up. You can't get out. They don't come up with this because it's valuable to them. That's why the truth, these scriptures, supposed to be in your heart. You got to seal them in your heart. Nobody should be able to take your scriptures from you. Nobody, unless they shoot you in the head and the Most High take that from you, you could be in a jail cell and those scriptures play over and over and over, just to remind you you are not alone. Listen, there were men thrown in prison. Did I not change the spirit on them? Did I not let these men out? Did I not? Right. You'll have them. That's because it's precious to you. But if it's not, you know what you do? You lay your notes around. Now you got a coffee stain on them. They'll be bottled up like this. So when it comes for the John 3:16 breakdown, 3 years later, you got to write it all over again because you didn't make a notebook of those things that were important. That's why you got your investment, man. That's why, like I keep saying, you got to invest, but a thief can only take something that you have laying around.
That's powerful, man. Go ahead, read out.
Come on, verse 5. Ye are all the children of light.
Right.
And the children of the day.
Yeah, the children of the day. Now we'll go to that. Somebody else get that Romans 13:11 that the sister put. Go ahead.
We are not of the night, nor of darkness.
Right. We don't supposed to be of the night, of the darkness. And you know that's symbolic. It don't mean, you're not going out at night. It's talking about blinded, dumb, deaf. You can't see. Right? You're caught up into your little soap opera life, and you don't realize that Christ is working around you. That's what the zombies are doing. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 6. Therefore, let us not sleep, as do others.
Right. So we can't sleep. You can't sleep, man. And what does that mean? That means that take for granted this knowledge. Oh, yeah, that's good. You can't be sitting here and take this for granted, but it's going to be worse on you. Y'all see that? If I told you somebody is on his way over there to rob you, are you going to just lay there? Or are you going to be prepared? Huh? You're going to be waiting at the door, right? Come right in. Right when he come in. Stop right there. Right? See, but a very good point you brought out. Is it threatening to you? See, that's how you know a lot of people don't take it serious. Because if you knew Christ was coming back, what the hell you be doing? You'd be like, Jesus, oh, what you need, brother? I got that for you. A little cup of water, right? Prophet's reward, I'm going to get that. What we got? What we got to do? It's like, you already do it just like I'm talking now. You can't even stop. Why? Because you know he's going to come whoop that ass. And you don't want that, right? Just like Daddy used to, right? When Mom was like, okay, keep acting up. I'm telling your dad. I remember walking home from school, real slow, looking in the window, like, dang, he waiting for me. He was there with the ruler, like, right? You be ready, you be scared and prepared. But why you ain't scared? Why you ain't prepared? Think about it. Just sit back and think about your mind state. How the hell could you just veer off into a soap opera mind state like, and you know, you're going at it with your husband, you're going at it with your wife, you worried about the bill so much. Man, if Christ came tomorrow, do you think any of that's gonna matter? I want you to sit down and think how you void out this, the coming of Christ. The thousands, it says he's gonna come with 20,000s and thousands of angels, right? And chariots. The day should be gloominess and darkness, right? You gonna void that out because you don't believe it. You don't believe it. It's a comic book. That's why you need to check yourself. Check yourself. Every day you wake up, that's what you're supposed to be doing, laying your treasures up in heaven. So whatever you're giving to the Most High, you're saying, Yahweh, please look at whatever I give through your mercy and through your grace. Right? Go ahead, finish that up.
Come on. And let us be sober.
Let us be what?
But let us watch and be sober.
Yeah, let us watch and be sober. A person that's drunk, remember, it uses wine, sober, as awareness and under the influence. We talked about that in Revelations when we talked about the wine of the fornication. It's not saying he's going to pass out wine bottles. It's saying when you drink wine, you're under the influence, right? It changes your judgment. That's how brothers and sisters be. A lot of brothers and sisters ain't sober. You walking around drunk on love. You drunk on love, right? You drunk on music or money or cars or some fictitious dream that you got in your head. It's all for the end. It is going to end. Those that believe, we see it. Those that don't, this is like, yeah, okay, scare tactics. And this ain't no scare tactics. The Most High already put your ass in your life. If that ain't real enough, this ain't gonna be real. Go ahead.
Verse 7. For they that sleep, sleep in the night.
Yeah, they that sleep, you got brothers and sisters, they that sleep supposed to sleep at night, not in the daytime, right? But that's what we do. When you look around, you got zombies walking. Where you going? Work? Like you said, Starbucks, right? Get my coffee, act like the Most High ain't here. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of brothers do when they leave the truth, right? I'm a act like it ain't just happened. I don't know that. The Adam and Eve syndrome. We're going to cover ourselves with something else because we're going to try to hide ourselves amongst the heathen. He sees you. You are the lights of the world. Go ahead.
And they that be drunken are drunken in the night.
Go ahead.
But let us, who are of the day, be sober.
Right.
Putting on a breastplate of faith and love.
And see, and that's what we're supposed to be increasing in. As these days become more and more hard, more and more faithless, right? The love of many shall wax cold.
Listen, read that last part. Listen to what he just said.
Come. For they that be sleep, sleep in the night. And they that be drunken are drunken in the night.
So those that are dark-minded are under the influence of all these other religions, all these other thought process, family members, Oprah. They're in darkness. They're being influenced by other things, right?
But let us,
Hebrew Israelites, those that sit in class for 3 hours, really?
Who are of the day,
who are the light, who have the light, the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, the correct application of knowledge in the scriptures, read.
Be sober.
Be uninfluenced by everything else out there. There you go. Read.
Putting on the breastplate of faith.
Why? Because without faith it's impossible to please the Most High. The breastplate supports your heart. Your heart is your mind. The most valuable parts of your body are your organs. The breastplate and all these things protect those things that are dear to you. So if these scriptures are dear to you, your faith will supersede any situation that you're dealing with because you know the Most High is real. Because you have faith in something that you don't see. That's what makes us so powerful. Because Christ himself said it, blessed are those that have not seen but yet believe. Mm-hmm. That's us. They had Christ. They walked with Christ. We have conversations, books, spiritual situations, and we have each other to know that the Most High in Christ is real. So you got to see that faith, that's got to be first and foremost.
Right.
If you ain't got that, you got a long way to go. Because every time you get in a situation, you're going to look to your job.
Right.
You're going to call your mom, hey, mom, can I borrow a couple bucks? It's going to be, ain't you one of them Hebrew Israelites? Where your faith at, nigga? My Jesus blessing me. Where your Jesus at? Oh, yeah, your Jesus, you starving. You looking thin now. You looking thin over there. Your Jesus ain't doing nothing. But where your faith at? You getting thin because you don't believe. Most High is not going to vex you if you don't believe. I mean, if you believe, but go ahead, keep reading.
Putting on the breastplate of faith and love.
Right. Now, jump from there. Go back to, the Romans 13 and 11.
Romans chapter 13 and verse 11.
Yeah.
And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Right. So that's why we have to be awake of what's going on. We gotta awake out of sleep, man. You gotta stop being like the heathens. You have to stop being like the nations. You understand? We gotta stop being like Cain, right? And seek the things that are gonna last, the things that are eternal. That's the spiritual. All these other things, Solomon prayed for wisdom. What did he get? Everything. It's the opposite of what the white man told us. Run and kill for the carnal, and then you get it? No. The Most High, the eternal power, He gives you everything. We search for Him, all these other things are going to come into play. But see, you know how you said, well, I haven't got it. I've been putting in my time, I haven't got it. Why haven't you got it? Why haven't that person got it? You know how you get those brothers and sisters, they come in the truth 2 weeks and be like, I gave it all! I gave it all! I gave it all for Christ! They're like, 2 weeks? You've been in the truth 2 weeks, bro. You just barely, hey, what you talking about? You're 2 weeks.
Because you know why? Because what they consider.
Hold on. I'm messing.
No, listen. You know why? You gave up everything? Because that's all that mattered to you. Was that one thing. That's why he took it. That was all to you. When you read the scriptures, the Bible says the Most High is a jealous God. But you invest so much in this relationship. That's why you take it. ASAP. Man, my car, baby, I just put new rims. It's just, that's all you cared about. That's why it's gone. That's why it was so easy. It was so easy to get you distraught, because you are distraught because the one thing I took from you. Because you don't care about nothing else. Everything else didn't matter. As long as I got my boo, but let me get rid of that. When if you would have put the Most High first, that would have been the last thing he touched. Because it wouldn't have mattered. It'd have been like, I already know his heart. It wouldn't matter if I took his wife. He's going to do the work. Listen, you know where his battle is? In himself. He needs to battle himself. So what I have to do is put him in situations to apply faith, brotherhood, commitment, long-suffering. It ain't no, I got to take these things around him to build his faith. No, he already been there and done that. He already showed me that's not where his power is.
There you go.
That's why it's so easy for y'all to fall, because he'll take one thing, because deep down in the back of your mind, that's all you want. You like, I'm only going to be here in class because I want my girl back. I'm only going to be in class because I need a good job. I'm only going to be here because it's like, bruh, why do you think it's going to take you so long to get those things? We're going to be here for a long time.
You're not going to get You're not going to get it. Listen, I told y'all the story about the one brother that just wanted his woman back. He never got her back. Yeah. He was like, all I want is my woman back. You know what I'm talking about. He's like, all I want is my woman back. I done worked for EO, I done did this, I done did this. Why come he don't give you my woman back? I'm like, because that's what you want more than him. You'll never get it. So this is the machine that the Most High made to build your mind. And it's all here. It's all in all these scriptures. And that nobody, Ecclesiastes 2nd chapter, you want the gist of it. When you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation. That you will not run from it. Not king, not supreme, not the janitor. You're going to go through it. Y'all see that? All right, finish that.
For now is our salvation nearer than we believe.
Right, and that's what we're going to jump back in these scriptures, but showing that, man, our salvation is nearer than we believe. Look at what's going on in the world today. Anytime now, as it keeps escalating and it keeps going, and we say anytime now, listen, I remember it was 1990, 1991, brothers was like in the year 2000. That was the era of the men because no man knoweth, right? They thought the year 2000 was going to be it. It's 2016 now. That's what, 20-something, 30 years later? Right? Yeah.
But you even got to think about, like the scriptures say that the last day started when Christ died, right?
Right.
So think about those men back then.
Yeah. They were waiting. They were waiting. They were patient. Right? But they were building. Listen, remember the scripture in Matthew where it said the ones that gave the pity? It says some came in at the beginning of the day and some came in at the end of the day. You don't know when that end is, right? Well, you can come in, cat's been in the truth 40, 50 years. And then you get a brother that comes in 2 weeks before Christ comes back. He's got to look at that 2 weeks. He's got to look at your time, whatever time you put it. For whatever reason, the Most High called you when you're called. Y'all see that? So you better take a hold of it and run. Like Paul said, not as one that beateth the air, but as one that may obtain the prize. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 12. The night is far spent.
Yeah, see, you see that? Their time is coming to an end. The homosexuality, right? The giving your kids to, you see Will Smith, Jada Smith now, right? That time is coming to an end. Their lies and politics, right? Their falsehood and their Christianity, it's coming to an end. Their military to an end. The false hopes in this kingdom is coming to an end. And I say it a lot of times, I don't know if y'all pick it up, but what kingdom in history that was corrupt, that was mighty? Go back, see, you got to read a little history and put it in perspective. Like, go back to these mighty kingdoms that flourished. Egypt was mighty. Look at Greece, Rome. Like, these kingdoms weren't no booty pool, backyard.
Barbecue.
Yeah, backyard, like, kingdom. You know what I mean? They weren't like when Gad came over here. Gad had little teepees and, Gad was mighty. You know what I mean? But they lived on a lower level. Esau took it to the whole, a lot of nations took it over to a whole new level. Nebuchadnezzar, right? All these kingdoms, man, the Assyrian Empire. Huh? Right, the Persian and the Medes. Listen, Nimrod. Let's go back to Nimrod. It said he was one of the mightiest men in his time. Yeah, Herod. Like, think about these things. Where are they at now?
Ruins.
Gone. And their kingdom didn't last. It's not like their kingdom lasted to eternity. And what kingdom has lasted over 1,000 years? Think about it. What kingdom lasted more than 1,000 years? Right? The righteous. Right? And listen, Solomon. Listen, Solomon could have lasted. He could have lasted. It was set. He was set. And he fell off. Right? You see that? So you have to see that it's bound to happen historically. Listen, for all them that don't believe scientifically, right? And for us that do believe biblically, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time till they implode. What?
Now I was thinking about when Solomon was, I was reading, I think it was Wisdom of Solomon, but he was talking about, worshiping other gods and other idols and stuff like that. That's why I was just thinking, I was like, dang, but that's what he fell to.
Yeah.
But he was still.
Yeah, he fell to that.
He put us on game about it, but then ended up, tripping up.
He could have lasted.
Right.
And then his kids could have lasted after them. But it didn't happen that way. Finish up.
The day is at hand.
The day is at hand. That day is righteousness. It's holiness. It's truth. It's not worried about robbery and killing each other and murdering and pain and suffering and disease and illness. It's everlasting for the chosen and for the 144,000. And the ones that are not of the 144,000, it said the least shall be as David. You understand? Go ahead.
Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
Right.
And let us put on the armor of light.
Right. You see that? It keeps reiterating about the armor, the necessary things that are going to protect you. And he said it perfectly. That's going to guard you and guard your midsection, guard your spirit from all these demons coming back and taking over your body.
Oh, no, listen. You got to read down. Because it actually goes into one of the scriptures I got.
Mm-hmm.
Read down to verse 14.
Verse 13. Let us walk honestly as in the day.
So we got to be honest with ourselves and with the Most High. When we're going through these situations, you got to be honest with yourself. Why are you here?
There you go.
You got to understand that. Why are you here? Be honest with yourself, because it's not about me and you. I got to tell brothers earlier, I'm not your friend in the sense of we got a buddy system. I'm your brother in Christ. I'm just being honest with you. I got to let you know that we got a protocol, we got a way of thinking, and we got to uphold one another in truth and in honesty. Read.
Not in rioting.
Not in arguing and complaining and fighting with each other, because that's not what we hear. We're all here to learn from each other.
Partying, dancing, or and then writing. Not in the good writing, but the bad writing. Not in either. You know what I mean? It can't be about just popping bottles and messing with models, right?
It tell you. It's crazy.
It gotta be, and it can't be writing. Because listen, these niggas out here marching, no justice, no peace, that ain't gonna do nothing. They can do that till they eyes pop out their head. So writing ain't gonna help out. Still in all that fake hair.
Read.
And drunkenness.
You can't drink your problem away. Popping mollies ain't gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Plugging, smoking blunts, moving to Colorado. None of that is gonna change. You think because they legalized it? So they will legalize it, so they think it's real.
I was like, why Colorado?
No, but that's what everybody keeps saying. I talk to them in the morning, like, man, I'm trying to get out there to Colorado.
It's in Cali too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Cali. When we went out there to Cali,
That's crazy.
you go down Venice Beach, all you gotta do is go get a little,
Medical ID.
go get a medical ID and then go buy it. And the medical ID is $40. You go to one place and then you go to another place.
That's
It's
what
out
I'm
there
saying.
too.
Like, how you just gonna stay under the influence of anything to disavow the fact that Christ is coming?
Take away the pain.
Christ didn't take the vinegar. Read.
Not in chambering and
So-
wantonness.
So it's not about going to the club and snatching the shawty up,
That's what chambering is.
going to the hotel and turning her out, sending her back out to the streets. That's not what it's about. Read.
Not in strife and envy.
And it's not about us looking at each other's position and having that in our heart of, I hate him because he think he's better than me. No, the Most High said, let all things be done decently and in order. So there's an order. You need to get in order. Read.
But put ye on.
Listen, that last one is very important. Why we try to veer from all that camp drama. It said not at what?
Not in strife and envy.
That's not gonna get it. They're like going back and forth with people. You know what I mean? Arguing just for the sake of argument. The Most High ain't about that. You know what I mean? We don't supposed to be about that. Y'all see that?
This last part is very important. Read that.
But put ye on the Lord Jesus Christ.
So how do we put on the Lord Jesus Christ? Anybody?
I read the word.
By reading the word, but applying the word. By making the word a part of your everyday activity, your everyday life. When you're going through a situation, you should be able to apply a scripture. If you're dealing with a situation that's too big for you, you should be able to have counsel, to make a phone call, to hit up a brother or sister, those that are already been chosen in the leadership of counsel, to be able to show you, listen, sis, or this, bro, this is how you got to deal with this situation. You got to put on Christ. You can't put on what your grandma told you, what OG told you, what your uncle told you, or what your heart told you. A nigga step on my shoe, I'm killing. Like, that's not how Israelites operate. But you have to put on the spirit of Christ. Read.
And make not provision for the flesh.
So what is provision for the flesh?
Look up provision. Yeah, look up provision.
Look it up, because a lot of people do this. It's so cold to see how easy you're doing this and don't even know it. That's why, are we going to get to the definition first? What is it? Anybody? What you got, Abadiah?
The action or the action of providing or supplying something for use.
That's it?
An amount or things supplied or provided. Yeah.
What you got? Anybody else? Well, I'll tell you this while somebody else look it up. If the truth don't work for you the way you want it to, you're making preparation for something else.
Yeah.
You're already preparing for failure. You're like, listen, if these niggas let me down, I'm going back to my job. That's why I just put a 2-week leave in. You're not even investing in the Most High. You're investing in what you see here. Read. What is it?
It says to supply with food, drink, or equipment, especially for a journey.
Yeah, because this is just a journey to you. You're not dedicated. You're not dedicated to this. This is just another one of your walks through life. Just a path I'm taking to see where it goes. Right, a walk on the wild side. Let me see what's over here with these Hebrew Israelite niggas. What else?
Set aside an amount.
Yeah, you set aside a certain amount. You're making provision for yourself. What you got in that Webster?
Foresight, the act or process of providing, being prepared beforehand.
Yeah, you prepared beforehand. So if the truth don't work for you, like if you can't bring your legalism into the camp, then you're going to go back to where you came from. So you don't never fully invest in the body of Christ because you think you could come with the lust demon, the backbiting, murmuring, the tearing down of households, the dot demon, the 12 demon. You want to bring all that, the gangbang, sacrifice demon. Yeah, you want to bring that in, and if it don't work for you, then you've already made preparation for other things. So you gotta be truthful with yourself. This is about you. Listen, just because we're a camp, we do not stand in line with each other when it's time for judgment. We ain't gonna be the Israelite ISBHPK camp lined up for judgment. It's gonna be you. You gonna be standing there, and are you making preparation in the world, or are you making it here? Go ahead, finish that up.
And make not provision for the flesh.
Not for the spirit.
For the flesh.
Not you.
For the flesh.
You making it for your flesh. You trying to make. There's nothing wrong with having a savings account, but you're setting things aside just in case the camp don't work out for you. Just in case these scriptures don't work, dog. You gotta be truthful with yourself. Read.
To fulfill the lust thereof.
Because all it is lust. That's your demon. If secretly you're making preparation for yourself, if the camp don't work, that's because you lustful. There's things in you that you desire that only the Most High see. That's why you ain't real. Go to 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9.
Chapter 3, verse 9?
Yes, sir. 2 Peter.
2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise.
So the Most High won't forget. He's not going to forget the promises that he's made for those that have invested in his company. If you've invested in the Lord Jesus Christ, he will not forget what you've invested in him. Read.
As some men count slackness.
Like a corporation will, when you give them your 401k and they go bankrupt and they don't care that you gave every red cent of your money to their company and they went bankruptcy and took your money. That's man. That's not the Most High. Read.
But is long suffering to us to
for useful.
But is long suffering to usward.
Oh,
not willing that any should perish.
Read that again. Read that last part again.
Come. As some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish.
So you know why the Most High It's not long. It's long suffering because he keep giving you the opportunity to change. He not like men where you make one mistake and then you get marked for the rest of your life. Like you hear me say a cuss word on the cable show, so you look at me like, yeah, I ain't never gonna go back on that show. But you let your pastor be a homosexual, smoke a cigarette, have a gay nigga in the choir.
Right.
But I'm over here like, I say a word that you don't agree with and you instantly shut me off. The Most High ain't like that. Because he don't want us to perish. He wants you to get your investment together. Read.
Come. But that all should come to repentance.
But he want us, you know why he give you that time? So you will change. It's about you seeing your faults and changing. You can have an attitude all you want, storm out the door, go back out the street, get beat up some more, come back, sit down, and listen. He got all the time in the world because he loved you enough that he don't want to see you destroy. He wants you to change. Read.
Verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
So going back to the point of why you're investing in the scriptures and in the Most High is because you do not know when he's coming back. You can't let these churches, as we don't go through these scriptures, deceive you. The Bible talks about many deceptions and deceiving spirits and peoples that are in the world. You have to pay attention to these signs. Read.
In the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
So everything that you invested in that you consider to be important will be burnt up, melted away, and destroyed. There's nothing here that you can put up that won't be destroyed. Read.
Verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye be in all holy convocation and godliness?
So what manner of people will you be? Knowing that all this is going to be destroyed, what are you going to be? You going to be a word nigga or you going to be an Israelite? You going to represent an Israelite or you going to be double-minded? What, you dress like one, but inwardly you like a raving wolf, seeking whom you may devour. You're not really here for the Most High. You're here for your own. You got to see what manner of person you are. Read.
Looking for and hasting until the coming of the day of God.
Read.
Wherein the heavens begin on fire shall be dissolved.
When the heavens being on fire, right?
Right. Being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Verse 13.
Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth.
And those that look for that are those that believe in the investment that they've made. You believe in Jesus, that's what you invest in because that's what you look forward to, the new heaven, the new earth. Not this. I don't look forward to seeing the whole world turned into homosexuals because that's where we at. I'm not looking forward to seeing how many people are going to fall off the map from AIDS. This is what's out there. This is what you invest in when you have unprotected sex. You let some chick woo you for the night. I don't know what it was, dog. She just got me. Now you're sitting over there and you scared to go get tested. But you finna bring that dirty mind to a new woman or to your rib. That one intimate encounter can alter everything in your house because you took it upon yourself to build up the flesh, the lust of the flesh, instead of putting investment in the scriptures and having a sound mind and having structure and being cautious, walking circumspectly as we're going to go through the scriptures. Read.
Wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Read.
Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found in him in peace.
So you can't be wavering. You got to be diligent. When you see things happening, you got to be fortified. To be diligent means you're fortified. You're rooted. You can't be moved. You're unmovable. You're consistent. Consistency was a word I had to learn. But I learned what consistency is. You cannot be moved. You can't change. So when these elements and the things around you are changing, you have to be fortified. Go to Mark chapter 13 and verse 32. Mark.
14 verse 32?
Yeah.
13, 13.
Oh, 13.
13 verse 32.
Mark chapter 13 and verse 32.
And I keep beating this in your head because a lot of us really don't get this. So we have to keep going over the same scriptures so you'll see it's not a fluke. It's not a misprint. It's not something that was stretched or taken out of context. It's not symbolic in this sense. It's real. Read.
But of that day and that hour knoweth no man. No, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father.
Nobody else knows. Nobody else knows. When the Most High hit that gavel down, that's it. So whatever your works have been, that's what you get judged on. You better think about that every day you wake up to go do mischief, to run the streets, but you wear a garment. It's 1 minute you got a garment on, the next minute you over here feeding your flesh. And remember, it's a battle though. That's the thing, it's a battle. Do we not all want to feed our flesh? Is that not our battle? But what is those that fight is what the Most High is looking for, because he knows that's faith. Faith is, I want to do this, but I'm going to do this. Faith is why? Because I know that the Most High is going to put a new kingdom and a new earth, a new government. There will be a new government established. I won't have to get lined up to get food stamps. Why? Because the Most High's government is going to be established. So let me stay focused instead of feeding my flesh. Go to Luke chapter 21, verse 22. 21 and verse 23.
Luke chapter 21, verse 23. But woe unto them that are with child.
So, destruction, woe, damage. You run around having 6, 7 kids. This ain't the time for that. That's done away with. The 11 kids in one household. My grandmother had 12 kids. This ain't the time for that. Because the world is changing. You can't have, it's said about chambering and these things. You can't be running around here getting pregnant by just any Tom, Dick, and Harry. You know, yeah, that ratchet spirit of, you got 50, you can't have kids right now. It's not about having babies. Read.
And to do them that give suck.
Read.
In those days, for there shall be great distress in the land.
What? Now you can't feed them. Now you can't feed them. You trying to throw your kids on somebody else to watch them so you can get a job. Them your kids. If you were paying attention to the signs of the time, the first thing you would have thought of is this scripture. Like, I can't be having all these kids. I can't have all these kids because I can't afford them. The state is cutting things up. The white man been getting food stamps way before you got them. But now you turned on to them, they turning them off. Now you got to figure out how to eat because you make 50 cents more than what they apply. You make $900 a month. Then you got to make $875. So they're like, yeah, you make too much. You're like, man, that's like $15. But that's your fault. Why? Because the scripture said, read it again. Tell them where you at.
Luke chapter 21, verse 23.
Read.
But woe unto them that are with child.
Woe you will be destroyed because the government does not care about you. Your life is going to be hell because you did not take heed to the prophecies. Read.
And to them that give suck.
Read. And you know what suck is when you got to feed your babies. That milk, the earth is drying up. Everything in the stores are fake. GMOs, SMOs. Even Whole Foods got fake stuff.
Oh yeah.
So you run around here, you can't even feed your babies correctly. They read.
In those days, for there shall be great distress in the land.
Yeah, like it was when the storms hit, with no water on the shelves. Niggas was running around like chickens with their head cut off, trying, but how am I gonna feed my babies? You should have thought about it before you had all 6. How you gonna move 6 kids around in darkness? How you gonna do it? Esau can do it. Because when you look at it on TV, they train the kids how to shoot guns, how to hold the fort. What do our parents do? They find a babysitter so they can go to the club.
You got six nigglets.
Yeah, cool, gremlins.
6 gremlins.
Gremlins. You got to see, this is a prophecy. The Most High is saying you shouldn't be doing this. Read.
And wrath upon this people.
Read.
Verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And
Now-
Jerusalem,
Now, I just want you to know this: the modern day sword is the gun. We're being killed by mass numbers. Our children are being shot down. Our women are being disrespected, pulled in jail cells, choked out, hung. Our boys are being raped. We're being killed by the white man. The white man got an agenda for you to die. It is what it is. But you got to see this is one of the prophecies. Jump to verse 25.
verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity,
Right.
the
There should
sea.
there should be sign. Read that part again. In the moon, stars.
There shall be signs in the sun and in the moon.
Remember, they got the 3 blood moons, right? You got everybody trying to figure out what the blood moons are. He just said it. Dang it, it's a sign. You get everybody trying to figure out what it is, what it's going to be. That's why it says. Go back to Jeremiah 10:1 real quick. Go back to Jeremiah 10:1.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen,
Go ahead.
and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Most High said, be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, because he just told you there was going to be signs in the heaven. Why are you over there? You're like perplexed about this. You're perplexed with what's going on here. He already told you, keep doing what the hell you're supposed to be doing. You're doing more research about the signs of the times instead of charity, love, brotherhood, unity. Get this knowledge to teach your people. That's what we're supposed to be getting better at. Especially you men. You're supposed to be getting this knowledge to be like, I want to teach like that. I want to edify like that. Well, how are you going to do that? You got to put your spirit in, investing your time in the study. And in the physical aspect of reading, but also into your character, into spiritual. You understand? That means you got to be around. You got to be told, hey, you got a booger on your face. I don't care. Don't tell me I got a booger on my face like that. Come on. You got pride on you. Ah! Right. We all go through it, but it's needed for us to perfect ourselves. You understand? Not worried about the 3 blood moons when they come. I'm hoping the blood moon specifically means when the next one. Did we have all 3 yet?
I think we had.
Was it 4? I thought it was 4. Was it 3 or 4? But that's my point. I know this. They said that after the 3 blood moons, you know what I mean? I mean, the scriptures tell you that the moon should be dark in its blood. Come on, we know that. But we're not to be perplexed about it. Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, because the heathen are dismayed at them. Go back to the other scripture.
Verse 25.
Why are those signs there? Why are the signs of heaven there?
Were you asking us?
Yeah.
I say motivation.
There you go.
Say we made like the sun, huh?
To show you that the Bible is not a comic book. To show you that the Bible is real. To keep you on saying, you know how when you fight and you're struggling to be righteous, and you're like, man, this is hard. Then the Most High says, be not asleep like them. They walk in darkness. Here, let me show you a sign. I'm going to show you a sign in the moon, in the stars. Listen, you can look up and see these things, right? But Israel still like when they came out of the wilderness. Moses, why the hell you bring us out here? I didn't just see all this glory of the Most High. I'm going to come at you like nothing mattered. That's what Israel did. Red Sea, pillar of fire, chariots in the day, chariots in the night.
Manna.
Right? Manna coming from heaven, food coming from heaven, right? Water from a rock. Everything was a what? With Israel? No, everything was a what? Coincidence. Oh, that was a coincidence that was water in that rock. Nigga, I said this is for y'all. Right? But they didn't get that. They didn't get that part. That's how the wicked are. Everything is a coincidence. Oh, why did that happen? It was a coincidence. How did the sea? Have you seen the History Channel break down how the sea parted?
Yeah.
Which makes sense, but they don't understand that the Most High did all that. If that's how he did it, if he blew a wind this way and the north wind or the west wind and they came and God, yes, but they're trying to be like that was just the time of the day, the wind, like
Right when Moses was being
right when Moses was being chased, right when they had a walk over it, but the Most High didn't do it. See,
It only happened at one time.
right at one time it was just. Listen, the Most High is showing us this is not a coincidence. He's doing it for you, for us to say, okay, there's no reason for me to be faithless, doubtful. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon,
Read.
and in the stars,
Right.
and upon the earth distress of nations.
Yeah, on the earth distress of nations. I mean, that's obvious, man. That's obvious. All the escalation. You know what I mean? I'm hoping Trump does become the president. I want him to just send missiles everywhere. Bring your holler back quick. What?
It's funny because me and Ariel was at the zone. It was a gentleman that's I guess you know some people in the military. He's like, yeah, man, I'm talking to my military friends, and they said that they're all preparing for what was it? Preparing for you know how they did it before in Chicago. What was that? Martial law.
Right.
Like yeah, they're all preparing for martial law.
Man,
Yeah, it's coming. But listen, everybody, let's be smart. It's not gonna come when they put it on the news.
Oh, right.
That's the whole point, to break the faithless. You're like, okay, and the year 2020 is coming. No, it's not. We're still here because the faithless they try to mock the Most High. Well, it's 2020. Looks like Jesus ain't came back yet. All you believers, where's your Jesus?
They send you a National Geographic episode that says Christ is coming in space.
Right, exactly. Listen, all these things is just to put doubt in you. No man knoweth. If Christ don't know, he's sitting next to the throne of the Most High. And the Most High ain't giving him a sneak peek like, listen, we gonna do this. He didn't get that. It says, right? The angels, they don't know, right? But the white man knows, huh? The military guy, or brother, like I said, we were in error when brothers were saying that the year 2000, and we got that off of the scriptures say in 2 days. No, I'll show you where we got it from. Yeah. Go ahead. Hosea 6:1. Was it 6:1? Was it 4:1? But go ahead, sis.
What does it mean, upon the earth, distress of nations?
The stress, the craziness.
Cutting off of heads.
Right, the craziness of nations. Remember in where were we at? Matthew's? We're in Luke. You know how in Luke, on Matthew it says uprisings? It's just saying the same thing. That these nations, why do you get a riot? Because of the stress of nations. Right? You get the uneasiness of the body coming up against the head, the government. So that's where this distress comes from. Hosea 6:1? Is that it? Or go ahead, read that.
Hosea chapter 6 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Come and let us return unto the Lord.
Right.
For he hath torn, and he will heal us.
Right. But that's happening now. He's healing us. Go ahead.
And he will smitten, and he will bind us up.
Right. He has smitten, and he will bind us up. That's happening. Right. He is binding us up. Go ahead.
After 2 days will he revive us.
See, and that's where we know 1,000 days is a day with the Lord is 1,000 years, right? 1,000 years is a day. So Israel was like, okay, 2 days will he revive us. But we didn't pay attention that he will revive us. But go ahead and read on.
In the third day.
In the what?
In the third day.
In the third
day.
Go ahead.
He will raise us up.
Right.
And we shall live in his sight.
Right. You see that? So we're thinking 2,000 years. But we have to remember, no man knoweth. You know what I mean? You can only, even with that, remember, huh?
That's heavy.
Yeah. Even with that though, you think about it, because I know where you're thinking, but think about that. And the third day where we live in this sight, right? Well, they change every time. They change the calendar. So the Most High is not mocked. He's not going to let us be able to put a date on it. You know what I mean? What we can speculate and say, okay, you know, from this time to this period, there was you know, and you look at all the prophecies, you can say, okay, the Most High is showing us signs for a reason. It's the end days. Well, remember, what does it say in Matthews? It's the beginning of sorrows when you see these things. So when is the end of the sorrows, right? You see how the scriptures allude, but don't pinpoint? Because then you would know when he's coming back. Then you would try to act righteous in the last hour. He don't want that. He wants you to be faithful the whole time, to be able to say, this man, this woman was pure from the time they got the knowledge, they repented. What you was going to say?
No.
Yeah, it's called, right? But in 2 days, you know, and once again, we've erred. You have a lot of people that err and thinking they can pinpoint a day and a time when the Most High is coming back.
But then it has that script we was talking about, no man knoweth.
No man, exactly. No man knoweth. Right? You see, I heard people online say, Noah knew it. Noah knew it.
That's what that guy was
talking
from with the
Noah didn't. He didn't know when. He knew it was going to happen. He didn't know when. Like, okay, on December 21st, 4th, well, I mean, you know, 5670 BC, you know what I mean? He didn't know that. Oh, at 12, he didn't know that. He knew, okay, all right, look at how this is getting. All right, partying, the dancing, the giving in the marriage. All right, now, Noah, get in the ark. Right? Now, this is coming. Y'all see that? So, it would be easy if we knew. But go ahead and finish. Where were we at before that?
Luke chapter 25.
Yeah, let's finish that up.
It says, with perplexity.
Right.
The sea and the waves roaring.
Right. Right. So, go ahead.
Jump down to verse 31.
Verse 31. So likewise, ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of God is nigh at hand.
So when you see these little, like he said earlier, the travail, when you see these situations starting to come, just know that the Most High, Christ, that kingdom is coming. Read.
Verse 32. Verily I say unto you, the generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled.
So just know there ain't gonna be no atomic bomb drop until all these prophecies are fulfilled. There ain't gonna be no people, everybody ain't gonna just die. That's the easy way out. Most High gonna make sure every last one of these prophecies is fulfilled before the end. Read.
Verse 33. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away.
So the Most High has signified these situations, these prophecies. He's letting you know, listen, this right here, this is going to happen. So while you keep in your back burner thinking in your mind, like, yeah, that may not happen. We got all the time in the world. The Most High telling you, listen, it's going to happen.
Right.
Read.
Verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your heart be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness.
So you can't let your mind be persuaded back into the world, basically, where you want to go right back into partying, drinking, because you've been 14, 15 years hearing the truth and ain't nothing happened yet. Because on the low, you still doing the same sin you did when you came in. So now you thinking you slick enough to be able to go back out there and come back in here. And you got to see, it says, take heed of yourself, lest at any time your heart should be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life. Because you've been here so long, now all of a sudden you start caring about the things that are out there more than you care about what's going on here. Read.
So that they come upon you unaware.
Right. Let me go here, and I'm going to throw a little wrench in this real quick. Psalm 73. So while all this is happening, right? You got all the uprisings, the famines, the pestilence, the signs of the times. You're catching it for Christ. You're trying to get your spirit right, but yet you're going through trials and tribulations, right? Right? Now read Psalm 73.
Verse 1.
Yeah.
Psalm chapter 73, verse 1. Truly God is good to Israel.
Right.
Even to such as are of a clean heart.
Right.
But as for me, my feet were almost gone.
Right.
My steps had well not slipped.
Well nigh slipped. Go ahead.
For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked.
So while this is all going on, guess who's prospering?
The wicked.
I said it was a wrench. Now all the world's in it. You looking at some people and they're like, well, they fine.
Come on in, nigga.
They get money. They driving Maseratis. You're like, dang, what, how is the world in it when they're fine. Right. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 4. But there are no beds and there's death.
Yeah, you're looking at the world. You're looking at people in the world. You're like, yo, you telling me the world is ending and the world is just beginning for this guy. It's like, he just won the lotto. He good. He got a good job. He getting paid $20 an hour now. Right? You see how the Most High does things? It's going to be a battle. This ain't going to be easy.
Right.
You ain't just going to be like, oh yeah, Christ come back, and there's people running outside shooting each other and running up, I gotta get to class. Yeah, No, listen. He read it to you earlier. It says, as in the days of Noah, they were partying and dancing and giving in marriage till all the way till. You know what that means? Like how Christian Shai said, there's going to be lights. There's going to be lights. You're going to have the internet. Everything's going to seem normal besides what the scripture's saying. These uprisings, riots, wars, rumors of wars. Like, do you know how many uprisings we just had in California and all these other states? And guess what? You was like, I'm good. They were there, when the kids got shot, Baltimore, wherever. It's a few states, but while they was marching millions of people, guess what you was doing in Texas? Flexing. Right. Nothing. You were doing nothing. Why? It almost made you think like nothing's going on. See, that's what mold that this is set up to be. That's why he said, when it says don't be blind, it said be blind to this, be blind to the knowledge, be believers in this. He said it earlier, blessed is they that have not seen and believe. Y'all see that? But this is the point. This is what I think about. When I think about all this stuff, I'm thinking about, but the wicked, these niggas are just getting away with it. Yahweh killed it, like, and you're over here catching it, you can't pay this bill, your car's broke down, and you got the righteous, they flourishing. That's the point. You see what's going on here? How else will you be found faithful?
Right.
When you looking at the wicked, growing, having money, thriving, and you're staying in the knowledge, serving the Most High. He's going to say, I want them. Because why? They seen the corruptness of everybody in the world, and they stood in serving the Most High. They stood in serving Christ. Watch, read on real quick.
Verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men.
Yeah. The whole world is catching it, but it just seems like, you get that one family member, they come in, they like, we're good.
Cadillac truck.
Yeah, my real got sisters like that. Her sisters get paid, they got money. Her sister's husband's in the military.
Yeah.
Every time they call her out there, they're like, we got the bill. You know what I mean? They taking her dinner. It's like, we got you. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, they're looking at this, and they're thinking it's fine. The world is just fine. You guys are fear mongers. But why is it set up like that, brothers? Why is it set up like that, sis? What's up?
Nah, I got like a family member like that. Like he just wicked as hell. And every time I turn around, it's like, damn, your mama got another car. You got another car. He barely eating over here. Every time I turn around, he doing something wicked. Like, yeah, man, you just smashed this one chick. You know, I don't really like her, so I just stopped talking to her. She keep texting me every day. I'm like.
Right, and you begging to have a woman that's dedicated in Christ.
Right, you ever come talk to the house, I'm like, but I don't do that.
Because the point is to see if you're going to give yourself to it. That's the temptation. It's always been like that. To make a choice. To make a decision. Now, you want to be with the wicked, you want to be with the righteous. What's up? What you got? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And this is 1 Peter 4 and 12. Because it's reminding me of the class that Dr. One brought out.
Okay.
About being under pressure, but it was talking about going through that trial. So obviously we got to get purified. You know, the goal to get right for the Most High.
Right.
But this is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you.
There you go.
But rejoice, inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
But you see this, the uprisings, the riots, the wars, and then you catching hell. You look on the other side, the wicked, they partying and dancing. Sort of look like, sounds like when Lazarus was in heaven, huh? He's seen the wicked being burnt the hell up. Then he was in the kingdom of righteousness, right? You see that? That's how, this is hell on earth, man. And the righteous are going to look at the wicked man and not want any of it. Why? Because of this. Because we know the outcome. Well,
I was just saying, like, what you said before, I was just going to say about Lazarus. That gave you that outtake of, like, yeah, we're looking at them prevail and probably want something to happen to them while they're wicked, but at the same time, they're going to get there inside of the next life.
Right.
Get ours inside of the next life too, because, like, even with what we have, it's not even that we are broke spiritually. Like, we have fun just at EO. We
right.
dance, we have fun just with our own spirit. Living is the life, the money right there.
Scott Disick, what's his name? No, Scott, yeah, that guy, Kim Kardashian's husband, ex-husband. They were saying, they were interviewing him. They were interviewing him, and they said, you know, he basically, you know, we want to know about you. He said, I got money. He said, I got money. He said, the more wealth I get, the more happy I'm not. You know what I mean? But that's the typical. Everybody should know that by now. You get money, you know what I mean? But the poor doesn't understand, seek ye first the kingdom of the heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you. You see that? That's what was supposed to be the first thing on our mind. You know what I mean? But the wicked will tell you, I got money, I'm not happy. You can have all the money you want. But so for some reason, we keep thinking, we get money, I'm going to be good. No, you're going to just be good. You're going to be paid your bills on time, have a nice car, but your brain's still going to be messed up. And no wealth can change this. You see that? You know, we always talk about that a lot, don't we? About wealth and the carnal and the pursuance of carnal. Why?
That's our ego.
Okay, you, since I pointed. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You going to say, sis?
I was going to say, it's a stronghold. It's something that we've always focused on, strive to attain.
Yeah.
The world made us think that was
the white man. The white man gave you a job and you're gun-ho. And you're gun-ho for the carnal. And it's hard. It's hard redirecting our people's minds back to the spirit. It's hard redirecting our people back to the spiritual. Because we're broke. We're poor. So, you know, but that's not the thing that's gonna bring happiness and joy and life to us. It's the spirit. Y'all get that? All right, let's finish that. Where were we at?
No, you actually got one of my scriptures, so I want you to read down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, listen to this. It's cold. It's this one right here. 1 Peter 4.
Oh, right.
I want you to pay attention to this, because this is what you forget. So this will remind you of your thought process. Read. Jump down. Where are you at? You at 1 Peter 4 and 14. Jump down to 17.
Come on. 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God.
So the Most High dealing with us first. So those that want to spit on Christ's birth and his death and his salvation and him dying for us, the judgment gonna start here first. Those that knew the law and chose not to do them, chose to go back out in those streets, it's gonna begin here first. Read.
Come on. Verse 17. And if it first begin at us, we shall, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God?
So if you think the Most High, you see these niggas in Bentleys, and you look at them, and you sit back and you're really envious knowing that the Most High dealing with you first. How much more he gonna do to them? What you think he gonna do to these niggas that whore out our sisters when the Bible tell you not to whore out the daughters of Zion? What you think he gonna do to a nigga who commits genocide when the scriptures tell us not to cause our people to err? How do you think he gonna deal with them? You sitting back watching them from a distance. Yeah, like you said, your cousin, he sleep with 6 or 7 women, but he won't tell you that he got herpes. You got this nigga got AIDS. You got to see it. This is real life situations because Satan sets up the illusion. He sets these things up to make you think you're missing out. Right. Read.
Verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved.
So if we in here all day, every day, all day, and we may not make it, read.
Where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
Where do you think OG Killer Bobby Johnson going? Where do you think Shaniqua, the twerker? Where do you think she going? She teach her babies how to twerk. Where do you think your uncle OG that got his whip game proper? He teaches his son how to cook crack. Where do you think this nigga going? Yeah, he got a nice house. Where do you think he going though? Read.
Verse 19. Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of God.
We suffer for the will of God. We suffer because of the promises. It's about the promises. Every day I'm in here, it is not because I'm like, you know what? Yo, I just want my shit snatched up. I'm here because I know it has to be given so it won't be snatched up. Because of the promises. If I give it, he won't take it. He don't need something. He says, he delight not in sacrifice. Else would he give it. It's not about you giving up the thing. He wants your spirit, bro. He wants you to come to him with a clean mind, a clean slate, clean conscience, and be willing to learn. He wants the things that you consider to be important to be torn away from you so you can be made afresh, because you can't sew an old cloth, new cloth on an old garment. So these are the scriptures and the things that to show you that you got to have a certain mindset and a certain spirit about yourself. Read.
The keeping of their souls to him in which doing, to him in well doing, as unto the faithful Creator.
See, it's about keeping our souls, man. Everything you invest in is either going to take from you or add to you. That's the whole point. Go jump back to Luke 21, and I want you to go to 10.
Luke chapter 21, verse 10. Then said he unto them, nations shall rise against nation.
Are we not seeing that? Are we not seeing America go over there like a big bully and start fights with everybody? Don't we got Iran and Iraq, Korea, Japan, all these nations? Are they not starting to riot against each other? Mm-hmm. Read.
And kingdom against kingdom.
Are we not fighting with other kingdoms and other countries? Is not Korea right now ready to drop bombs on us? Do we not got Japan ready to cut off their technology and their tradings and these things with us? Read.
Verse 11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places.
And that's self-explanatory. We got earthquakes popping up all over the place. You think it's just because the white man is pulling out all the oil, but these are
We
prophecies.
just got a 7.1 in Alaska the other day.
That's what I'm saying. Alaska. We got these earthquakes coming up all over the place, but you looking at it like as long as you can play PlayStation and you got internet and a smartphone, it's okay. But you got to see these are prophecies to show you that you can't think like this. Read.
And famines and
Pestilence.
and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven.
So the pestilence and the starving kids coming from the Most High. This is a sign for you Israelites to wake up. When you turn on TV, like how many times Jerry kids gonna need money? Niggas been needing money since I was a kid. Africans been starving since I've been a kid. Like I ain't never seen them be like, we finally got enough money for these cats. No, they starve forever. Why? It's a sign from the Most High to show you get your life right. Or you gonna be caught up. Your kids gonna start starving. Why? Because you're gonna put your value and your investments in the world, and when the world lets you down, woe to those that have given suck. Read.
Verse 12. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you.
Yeah, a lot of y'all gonna get touched. The world gonna put their hands on you and persecute you. They're gonna laugh at you, call you on your phone, send you text messages like you still doing that Hebrew, Israel, Muslim, Christian thing. Right. Assalamu alaikum, shalom. Oh, that's what you do? Yeah, they're gonna persecute you. They're gonna treat you like you stupid. Oh, girl, why you asking? He got what? Oh, really? Oh, and you deal with that? Right. They're gonna make you look like a fool, but that man went off and been cheating on him. And you don't know what he's doing behind closed doors, but you think because he bring home a paycheck that he good. Him good. Read.
Delivering you up to the synagogues.
Yeah, to the churches, to these so-called. You know, it's funny. I remember this girl. She said she used to get shunned at when she asked questions in Catholic Church. They shunned her. They were like, listen, you can't ask those questions. And if you did, they almost put you in a corner. Like you're a reject. Because you think outside the box. Read.
Into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake.
Right. It's an honor to be able to be thrown in a position like that for the Most High. You can't be scared when you get put in. Ain't you one of them Hebrew Israelites? Did I see you on the cable show sitting way in the back with a hand wrap? No, that wasn't me. Yeah, it was. You gonna deny Christ because you fear what the nation is gonna do to you? Because of how they pulled you over? Yeah, 10 out of 12. Yeah, I think we got one of these Hebrew Israelites from the cable show. I'm gonna run her name and I'm gonna run his name and make sure. Hey, did I see you in no, that wasn't me. No, I'm a Christian. Like, you got to stand up for something or you're going to fall for anything. Satan on your neck because he wants your soul. That's why you got to invest. When you make an investment in something, you don't sit back and become weary and wavery over it. You are sure that's why you made that investment. I put $500,000 in Quaker. Quaker going to do it this year. I'm gonna put, they're like, should I do Quaker? I don't know, Quaker. Man, Quaker, I'm gonna just put 2% in. Then if it flip, you gonna make a sound. That's what's called a sound investment. You gonna make a sound investment with the Most High if you believe in the Most High. Read.
Verse 13. And it shall turn to you for a testimony.
This is what we go through for testimony that Christ is real, that the scriptures are real and the prophecies are real. Read.
Verse 14. Settle it, therefore, in your heart.
In your mind. Get prepared. Let this be in you. Let this settle in your mind. Read.
Not to meditate before what ye shall answer.
Our whole point is we shouldn't have to go through a questionnaire to determine if we love the Most High Christ. It should already be in your mind and in your heart. You should already know why you're going through what you're going through. If you've been here more than 2 weeks, you should already know, man, I'm here because I got to get my life right. My spirit is on. You know what you do in darkness? Well, nobody got to say we want to write down on a piece of paper, put it in the hat, and we pull it out, read each other's sin. Nigga, you know what you do. It's about changing. I'm not there with you, so I can't go into what you do. The only thing I can do is help us change. I got mine, he got his, you got yours. But when we come here, we're made perfect through Christ. Go to 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 15.
2 Timothy.
Yeah, y'all, he on fire, man. I gotta put a light on your foot. He on it. He on it. On it.
Go ahead and read.
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 15. And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation.
Right. Could I just say this on that? Read it from the top one more time because the point from the beginning needs to be made. Go ahead.
And that from a child.
From the what?
From a child.
That's why it says, come ye as a child. A child is ready to learn, ready to listen, and ask. Ask too. Children ask questions. Why? 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 Because I told you so. Why? Why? That's how kids do. Come as children. Ask. But at the same time, be ready to what? Listen, because kids, they don't have no preconceived notions. My son, why is that? Oh, okay. Cool. You got the information? There you go. If you don't understand, then you ask again. Go ahead.
And that from a child thou hast known the Holy Scriptures.
Right. And because as you grow up, you're going to be founded and based and rooted. You understand? With the scriptures, with what you're given. See, but you got to come as a babe. You got to come ready to learn. Go ahead.
Which are able to make thee wise unto salvation.
Right.
Through faith, which is in Christ Jesus.
That's what makes you wise, is the fact that you can listen as a child. Like you said, how are you going to learn something if you don't listen? You become wise because the wisdom is the correct application of knowledge. That means when you're told something and you apply it, that's wisdom. You're able to excel because you understood what was being given to you. Go to 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 3.
2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 3.
Now, I'm gonna have you read this kind of fast, but not really. I'm gonna hit the points, but I want y'all to really listen to this.
2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 3. According as his divine power hath given us all things that pertain unto life and godliness.
So the Most High already gave us the things that are good for us. Read.
Through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue.
So the virtue comes through Christ. There's nothing else of value. If it doesn't have Christ, it ain't right. Read.
Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises.
So these promises of if we do right, the Most High will take care of us. We don't have to worry about us suffering if we're suffering for righteousness. If you're suffering in the world, it's because your investment is off. Read.
That by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped in the corruption that is in the world through lust.
See, we escape because we know the promises that the Most High give us. So we escape the lust of the world, the destruction, because we stay focused on the prize. Read.
And beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue.
So the faith is important, but what's the point of being faithful if you're not diligent? If you're not a diligent person and you wavery, how are you going to fight a battle? Your faith is wavery. You don't have no structure. Read.
And to the virtue, knowledge.
Knowledge of what? Yourself? Self, I'm a God. I'm self-God. No, it's knowledge of these scriptures and the correct application of the scriptures. Read.
And to knowledge, temperance.
You got to be patient. You got to be refined. You got to be proven. Read.
And to temperance, patience.
Read.
And to patience, godliness.
Go ahead.
And to godliness, brotherly kindness. And to brotherly kindness, charity. For if these things be in you and abound, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of the Lord Yahushua.
These are the things that make you flourish. If you don't have these attributes, you better check yourself. You better go down this list and look at yourself. You know what you need to do? You need to stand in the mirror and read this and look at yourself. And ask yourself, do you have these attributes? Because you can't lie to the mirror because you can see all your imperfections. So when you get a chance, stand in the mirror and read this to yourself. See, do you have brotherly kindness? Look at the mirror like this and say, do I have temperance? Am I patient? Am I godly? Do I have brotherly kindness? Look at yourself in the mirror when you read this, because you will see the demon on you. You will see it because you don't even want to, most people barely want to look at themselves in the mirror because they can see their imperfections. But the Most High is showing us that the only way we gonna grow is to change. There ain't no back door little Job to get in the kingdom. You enter ye at the straight gate. Go to go to Mark chapter 13, verse 21.
Mark chapter 13, verse 21.
It was all good.
Mark chapter 13, verse 21. And then, if any man shall say to you, lo, here is Christ, or lo, he is there, believe him not.
So now we get into some of the signs of deception in these churches and in these neighborhoods where they keep saying here at First Tabernacle, Rock on the Mount, Prosperity Church, Christ is here. When you start seeing these people move and preach and act a certain way, you better be paying attention because this is one of the prophecies that Christ talked about. That's what we're about to go into right now. So read this.
Verse 22. For false Christ and false prophets shall rise.
So you better pay attention because they're going to look good. When something rises, it looks good. What happens when you see a dusty nigga with a new outfit? You see, he came up. So when you see these church pastors start to come up, you shouldn't have it in your mind to be perplexed. Like, what's going on? This is a prophecy. This nigga a demon.
Right.
Read.
And shall show signs and wonders to seduce.
So seduce you. Those that don't read. He gonna seduce you. You know what he gonna do? He gonna come through with a nice suit. I never forget my daughter's mom. I said, what church you go to? She said, I go to this one church and they got the young group. I said, what's the young group? She said, it's all these young niggas in the congregation that drive new cars. I was like, what are you talking about? She said, yeah, I'm dating one of them. I was like, so, but your spirit is so torn, you're on the phone with me getting scriptures, but you dating a young group guy with the new Benz. They're putting themselves up to deceive you because you won't study. You think it feels good. If it looks good, it is good. You're dealing with demons. You got demons that have deceived people in the Bible. You just got this. They written in the book as being deceived. So how do you think you're going to pan out to one of these ancient demons if you don't take it upon yourself to have counsel and to talk? You're going to hold it in and move around here like you ain't, hey, what's going on, sister? Nah, I'm good, Sean. Brother, hey, Sean, what's going on? Hey, I'm straight. Are you really? Because I stay catching it. I got to call somebody. I be like, man, look, this is what I'm doing. They be like, hey, listen, that's funny. I was just dealing with this. Because we're the overseer of the flock. We got to make sure that we don't fall to the wolves. Read it.
Verse, if it were possible, even the elect.
So even if it was possible, they're coming here and trying to deceive those that have already had that mark, that are already fortified in their minds. They'll come in with a doctrine or a book or a show or some ideology to try to persuade those that have already been marked and chosen. Read.
Verse 23. But take ye heed, behold, I have foretold you all things.
So don't be fooled. He already told you this. This ain't no miracle thing when he touched hands and and then it just passed through. You got it. He already told you, like, listen, that's in the book. That's book. Demons is going to move through the crowd, touch people, make you feel this. They're going to hover over you. He may jump back 12 feet. He got a demon on him. He got a demon on him. You better be watching because I already told you these things. Go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4.
Yeah.
in whom God,
No.
oh,
Read again.
in whom the God of the world.
No.
hath-
Read again.
Right, somebody read it right.
2 Corinthians.
You're just reading it wrong.
In whom
Yep.
the God, in whom the God of the world,
Of this world.
that's what it's a lot. And the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not.
Why? Who is the God of this world? So why is he able to trick you? Listen, why can Satan trick you?
You allow
Blinded the minds of them which believe not.
Exactly. He blinded you because you don't really believe.
Is some of y'all, more of y'all cold in here too? Go ahead and turn it on. Sister's got little bones.
Yeah.
like that movie.
Brothers
The
can't
right.
be 300 pounds and talk
Well,
about, I'm good. I'm fine, bro.
My bones is thick.
You know, little sisters, they be
Yeah.
fragile. Go ahead and turn it up. Turn it up.
This is exactly why he can get you. Read it again.
In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not.
That's why he got you. He blinded you because you really don't believe. You sat here all this time and you had an ulterior motive. You're an unbeliever. You don't have it in your soul to see that Christ really died for you, that you have an opportunity to change and to do what's right. But you let Satan come in because you really don't believe that. Read.
The least delight of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them.
See, if you don't believe, it's so easy for the word to be taken from you. But if you believe, you gonna shine. When Satan comes, he already knows. I can't even deal with this nigga. Why? He fortified in his spirit. So
I
that means,
gotta go some other way.
yeah, I got that.
I was telling my rib that too. I was like, see, Satan, I was telling also Elizabeth that too, is that Satan can't, he try to go through your family. You know what I mean? He try to go through you first. When he see he can't get you, he go attack your karma. Then he go through your family. He try to find some way. Then, if all that ain't working, he hit your body. You know what I mean? That's why every other week brothers are sick. Like, you stay sick. You stay. He trying to give you that eternal cough. You know what I mean? I gotta tell brothers, every time you go to class, I bring some tea with you. Because you got an eternal cough with you. Why? Because he tries to hit your body. He know he can't go through your rib. You and your rib, you're one mind, one accord. You know, that's the beautiful thing. A man and a wife that agree together in one, right? She's no longer the one that's barking at you. She's family, kids, order, right? Fine. Then you go through your car, it breaks down. So, you know, it has to be understood how this is going to attack us as a body. You know what I mean? To break you down at every point. But go ahead.
Hey, jump to Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 16.
Isaiah chapter 9, verse 16. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed.
See, you're letting voting, you're letting what your pastor tell you, you're letting what your uncles tell you cause you to err. That's why your faith is so thin, because when they let you down, you think that's the truth. You think that's book. That's not book. That's that man's interpretation, and that's your stupidity and trusting in men. That's why you led away from the book. You so lazy-minded, you don't want to pick the book up. So when they tell you that there's an apple in the Bible, you'll believe that. Instead of reading for yourself and seeing what the fruits of the Spirit is. Jump to 8 and 20.
Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 20. To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
See, the devil is at work. It's the devil. If they're not telling you, listen, when you say Christ is black and they say color don't matter, they got the demon of the devil in them.
Right.
If you take and show them Deuteronomy and show them why we're in the curses and they say, no, that's because black men. Listen, we understand what we brought on ourselves, but the devil is putting in overtime. So if they're not speaking according to wisdom, it's because there is no wisdom in them. Your uncle can't teach you the Bible if he does not study the Bible.
Right.
If the Bible says, I suffer a woman not to teach nor to usurp authority over a man, but to learn in the church and all subjection, all silence. That means that there ain't no such thing as a woman pastor.
Right.
So because her church is beautiful and she got the walls pink and the cross is orange and it got little tassels around it,
Right.
don't mean nothing. Just because she got Joel Osteen as her second in command, the Bible says what it says. So the devil is coming from her.
Right.
The devil is coming from him. There is no, Satan don't cast out Satan. The scriptures tell you that. But this is one of the prophecies to show you what's coming to pass. Go to Peter's chapter 2 and verse.
1 Peter?
Yeah, 2 Peter's chapter 2. And you're going to start at verse 1.
Verse 1.
Let him read it.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. But there were false prophets also among the people.
So as we get closer to the ends of time, as we get close to wanting to get pulled towards Christ because they're constantly taking our children and murdering them, and we got that deep sorrow in our heart and our spirit, and when the economy shut down and we can't seem to feed ourselves, they're going to pop up. What does it say?
False prophets also among the people.
So there will be these certain type of demons that will pop up right with you. And do what? Read.
Even as there shall be false teachers among you.
And they're going to be teaching things that are not in the scriptures. They're going to teach you color don't matter, come as ye are. They're going to open a homosexual church. They're going to rewrite the Bible. They're going to come up with a church for Beyonce. They're going to come up with a book of Yeezy. They're going to do whatever they can to profit off of your ignorance. Read.
Who prevailing shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them.
Yeah, they're going to start saying, listen, Scientology. It's all about Scientology. You are God, nigga. We are the creators of all things possible. Therefore, there's 360 degrees of what man perceives to be knowledge, and the dark side. Like, bro, really?
Right.
You gonna deny the Most High? All that, and you brought up the Big Bang Theory. What about Christ? What about the Most High? That ain't important, G. Show me Christ. I can show you science. I can show you the Messianic symbols that built the pyramids with the ruler. Come on, man. You're going to deny Christ. Why? It's one of the prophecies. Read.
And bring upon themselves swift destruction.
Yeah. Read.
And many shall follow their pernicious ways.
Right. Yeah, many of them going to follow that because it's going to be, you know why? Because it's going to be intriguing to you. You're going to be intrigued by it. Well, this nigga was able to, he paid my lights. Jesus ain't never paid my light bill. He cared. Jesus ain't never stepped in my house. You're gonna be persuaded through stupidity because if you understood this is one of the prophecies. Read.
By reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of.
Yeah, they're gonna, color don't matter. Listen, you got a white Jesus on the wall, but color don't matter. You gonna really tell me that baptism is the only way in? These are the things that you're gonna bring to our children, to the sheep. This is what you're gonna bring to the sheep, those that need to be led in the right direction. This is what you're gonna bring. Because these are the prophecies of the last days. Read.
And through covetousness shall they with fringed words make merchandise of you.
Yeah, they're gonna whore you out. They're gonna whore you out. They're gonna get you, use you, and spew you out for profit. They're gonna drain your bank account. They're gonna get you into a fellowship club, eat you alive, and when you ain't worth nothing, they're gonna spew you back out.
Yeah,
the young, I'm sorry. The young niggas in Christ. That's what they is to me, man. Read. Where you at?
Con, this is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 3.
Read.
Whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not.
Why? Because you don't see them being destroyed, you think that it's okay. You see, because the Most High didn't strike lightning from the sky and eat them alive right then and there when they told you that Jesus' color don't matter, you think it don't matter. You're like, maybe they're right, because I've been fighting for this over here and I've been suffering. These niggas keep talking about the school, lights, and the other church never asked for that. They just want me to pay my 10% on a Sunday. But these niggas want it 3 times a day, 3 times a week. Like, nobody, listen, give what you can give. The light's going to stay on whether you're here or not. Because it's the will of the Most High, not the will of you. That's why men who thought they built things with their own hands, when they left, it still stood. And it's going to stay after they come back or don't come back. So you got to see the Most High. If he wills something, it ain't got nothing to do with him. Read.
Verse 4, if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into the chains of darkness, to be reserved unto judgment.
He put them in bad situations. These ones that he's charged with these devices and this behavior, what do you think is going to happen to you? You sit here and you read and you sit amongst us and you eat with us and you pray with us and you face the east and you learn these what thought process to have, but then you go out and do the opposite. Where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're gonna be chained up with? What spirit you think gonna be on you? What you think gonna be chained next to you? When those spirits come out of darkness and grab your soul and pull you where they at, what do you think gonna happen to you? What spirit you think you're gonna be entreated by? If you had a lust spirit on you, what dark spirit you think gonna come and pull you into the darkness and do something to you? If you have a deceptive spirit and you're a liar, when the demon keeps telling you, I'll let you out tomorrow if you just do this, and it just keeps happening over and over again, you never get out. What are you going to do? You got to think of this. These are realistic situations because this is what the prophecies tell us. Read.
Verse 5, and spared not the old world,
Read.
but saved Noah, the 8th person.
He didn't save all them niggas. They drowned. He saved Israel, the remnant. Those that chose to do the work. If my wife fall off, I got to do the work. My husband fall off, I got to do the work. I can't get caught up if my son want to be whatever he want to be, then that's you. I got to do the work. You won't get caught out there. When the Most High put that spirit on the ark to shut up, they said no man can open it. There wasn't no climbing over the edge or making like they show you in the movie, Judas snuck in through the back. Come on, man.
It was
Two-ball game.
Oh, that's what it was?
Two-ball game.
Yeah, but he had that old dark, murderous spirit.
He was from the seed of Cain.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, it's like that. Read.
A preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly.
So we're going to be destroyed if we don't do what's right. We will be destroyed. There is no hiding. There's no hiding. Think about a flood. Like when it rained in Houston and that water started rising, there wasn't nowhere for you to hide. You had to pray. God, is up to my car. Oh, God, it's up to my sidewalk. God, please don't let this come in my door. Oh, my God, it's on my porch. God, please don't let this. Bro, I'm talking about we drove through it. The water was all the way up to our windshield. And you know what I told the brother? Just don't stop. Just don't stop. If you stop, you stop. That's what the Spirit kept telling me. Just don't stop. Just keep moving. We drove all the way home. I'm talking about literally, you could see under the water on our windshield. Because the Spirit kept saying, if the water enters into the exhaust, it's over. But if you're pushing through, and then when it gets where you need to think, drive up into somebody's yard and look and scout. You got to use the whole terrain. You can't be religious. Even in this, you can't be religious when things look rough. You got to maneuver. You can't let Satan just broadside you to where you dumbfounded and now you confused about what's right and what's wrong. You got to maneuver because you in a situation where your soul is on the line. The demons, they are putting obstacles in your way to make you think that's more important than your soul.
Right.
Read.
Listen, it's 9:36. I just want to say this, you brothers and sisters. We had to change our channel, YouTube. We need to get the word out there to all the other brothers and sisters that were, they would actually go to our channel for the live link, as opposed to everybody on here now that's watching, we probably sent the link out. So we need to get the word out to these other brothers and sisters that our link is, we're having problems with our other channel. Okay? We're going to put these classes on the other channel, but we need to get the word out to them. But if anybody online right now has any questions, if anybody online now has any questions, we'll open it up for the last like 20 minutes for questions. So y'all can go ahead and text. You can text me, 321-960-8411, or you can go on the YouTube. I'm on here now, and we'll go ahead and answer your questions, whatever y'all got. Does anybody have any questions in here? Yeah, sis.
I do. This blowing my mind. When you quote over Luke 21 and 34, can you go over that verse for me again? I didn't really get that.
Somebody go back over it. Luke 21:34. Go ahead.
This is Luke chapter 21, verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
And take heed to yourselves, let at any time your hearts be overcharged.
Right.
With surfeiting.
Surfeiting. Right. Now, look up the word surfeiting. So you got to watch yourselves, or else what? Go ahead.
An excessive amount of something.
Right. So you start to be excessive. Remember with the class I went over about balance?
Right.
You go too much into one thing, and you don't go too much into the other, right? You got to have a balance. You know, if you're overeating, right, or you're drinking too much. So because that's what's going to happen in the last days, right? You got individuals that are going to give themselves over to their heart's desires and to their lusts. So he's telling you, watch yourself, or you're going to give yourself over to your desire. Go ahead.
And drunkenness.
Right. You see that? You see that says carnal. The carnal things. You're just like you said, trying to find a way out. You're trying to pop pills. You're trying to drink. You're trying to smoke away the pain instead of going to Christ for the knowledge. Go ahead.
And the cares of this life.
Right. Or coming back, now it's the cares of this world. My car, my bills. This is important. This is more important than what the Most High, what the work is. You see that? Go ahead.
And so that they come upon you unawares.
Right. Right. And you're so caught up into what you're doing in this life, your lust of your flesh, that the Most High comes and smacks you like a thief in the night. Go ahead. Was that it?
That's it.
Right. What was that?
That was Luke chapter 21 and verse 34.
Luke 21:34. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
Mine is Jeremiah 52, verse 20.
All right. So he got more scriptures on this class, but I think y'all get the gist of what he's been going over. And we'll finish up this class. We're just going to take the next 20 minutes just to take questions because we said we would do that. All right. So what's your question, Tommy?
Jeremiah chapter 52, verse 20. I got it.
Go ahead and read that.
Jeremiah chapter 52, verse 20. The two pillars, one sea, and 12 brazen bulls that were under the base, which King Solomon had made in the house of the Lord. The brass of all these vessels was without weight.
So my question is, the same brother that we're talking last time, the same other question. We were discussing this scripture about the brass and bulls. Now, when he made that in the temple, from my understanding, when you look at the brass and bull, that was like the movie Immortal, where they had the women in the brass and bull.
Mm-hmm.
Was this was when Solomon was wicked, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he went off.
Yeah,
Well, remember, he had lions in the temple. You know what I mean? We had many things in the temple. See, there's no problem with having images.
Wait, no, it's not. I'm talking about, but what he was using them for at that point.
Right. He went off.
He was off, right?
Right. He went off out of the way.
Because I was like, yeah, that's worship of Baal.
Yeah, that's worship of Baal.
Like, why is it in the temple of the Most High?
Right. That's what he went off.
Okay.
Remember, it says when you go back in Kings, it says he went to start worshiping, and he got Israel to worship those things on the high places.
Okay, just making sure. I was like,
yeah.
It didn't make sense. Like, Most High, why didn't you just destroy right there? Like, you know what? You got balls.
You know, the question is, well, we know why he didn't destroy them, for David's sake.
For David's sake, right.
Right. But go back and read on all those kings. He was destroying Jeroboam, Rehoboam.
It's like every other king was jacked up.
Yeah, he was.
But it was like all of them after Solomon. Well, no, even Saul was wicked too.
Yeah, Saul was off. David messed up. He wasn't wicked, but he sinned. You know what I mean? You can see some did repenting.
Right.
But then you didn't have all Israelites when you go through Kings, you read that it'll tell you, and his son was followed the Most High and served the Most High. And then his son went off out of the way, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. That's how it goes through when you go through Kings. So it wasn't necessarily all of them.
Most of them.
There was a lot of wicked men in Israel. Yeah.
All right. Hold on, son.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I just want to give you this. Go to Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 24.
Leviticus chapter 18, verse 24.
Yes, sir.
Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you.
So you can't get caught up with America is teaching because the Most High already cast them out. The defiled ones, the ones that taught homosexuality, that taught it's okay, get high, party, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, the Most High already dealt with them. He already marked them. So he's explaining to you in the Levitical law, this is one of the things that you're not supposed to do. Read.
Verse 25. And the land is defiled.
And
Therefore,
the earth is defiled. If you go out here, everything is for the flesh, nothing for the spirit. You can't even farm no more. The earth is just in ruins. Look at the animals. They're spewing themselves out of the ocean. Birds are falling from the sky. And you ain't supposed to touch any land where dead animals and dead bodies have been touched. So you can't just build over a graveyard. That's not how we operated. This is how the nations dealt. That's why the Most High marked them and cast them out. Read.
Therefore, I do visit the iniquities thereof upon it, and the land itself vomited out her inhabitants.
Read.
Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations.
See, it ain't about us converting to the world. The Most High said, listen, that's what they do, but I chose you. I separated you. I kicked them out because they are defiled people. Everything they do is defiled. All their customs are defiled. The things they invest in are defiled. What they put on TV is defiled. What the music is defiled. He said, listen, don't learn these things, but stay in the traditions of God. The ordinances, the covenant, and the commandments, the judgments. Read.
Neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you.
So when you got people that come in that ain't Israelites, and they do a little something on the side, that don't convert you. That ain't like, yeah, well, you got to see that. Like, we got people that's going to come in, just because they dark skinned don't mean they Israel. You got to look at their spirit and what they give themselves over to. Read.
Verse 27. For all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled.
So don't think that this is something new. The animals are dying because of what man is doing. The birds and the seas it's nothing new. God said this is what's going to happen in Leviticus law. This is the law. He's telling you, listen, you're not supposed to be caught up in homosexuality. No white woman should turn you into a lesbian. And no white man should be able to whore you out. And then it's even worse, like you said, the judgment shall start in Israel. We should not be whoring each other out. You got cousins sleeping with cousins, uncles touching nephews. That's not what it's about. You're whoring, you're performing the acts of what the nation's done. And the Most High made it a commandment. He spewed them out. You can't become a part of that. Read.
Verse 28. That the Lamb spew not you out also.
Because the Most High get rid of you. You want to be lustful, he'll get rid of you. You want to be a demon, he'll get rid of you. If he spewed them out, he will spew you out also. Read.
The nations that were before you. When ye defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you.
Read.
Verse 29. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the souls that committed them shall be cut off from among their people.
So what this is showing you is this. Just because the influence of the world, we already know through the scriptures what the nations and these other people have done. Like he went over about the nations and the different kings and these people that have done defile acts in the Bible. They went off, started serving other gods. They went off and started building temples. That's the same thing going on here. But they're not supposed to influence you. We're not supposed to become a part of that, or the Most High will spew us out. Where we were supposed to be the workers of God, we end up being outcasts. Because why? This ain't nothing new under the sun. It's already been going on. These people have already been defiling the earth. They've already been promoting homosexuality. This is nothing new. So you got to remember this. You're not special just because you got a couple scriptures. If you don't do what's right, the Most High will get rid of you like he did those nations that supported and promoted.
Okay, we got another question in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy, let's see here. Oh, let me go back to Deuteronomy 23, verse 13.
Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 13. And thou shalt have a paddle upon thy weapon, and it shall be, when thou wilt ease thyself abroad, thou shalt dig therewith.
Right.
And
right. This is talking about making sure that you know how on your guns you have the bayonet. Well, he's saying on your gun, or on your weapon, you need to have a paddle with it. That way, when you got to use the restroom, you go outside the camp, dig a hole, and you use the restroom outside the camp. We weren't defiled we didn't have our bathrooms inside the camp. They were outhouses. So this is what it's talking about. Go ahead.
And shall turn back and cover that which cometh from thee.
Right, which is your duty. He's saying, go and purge yourself outside the camp. Throw the dirt over it. Go ahead.
For the Most High, thy power walketh in the midst of thy camp, to deliver thee, and to give up thine enemies before thee.
Right. So the Most High is about cleanliness. You know what I mean? Most High wasn't about you go in that brother sister's house and there's dust packed up on it. You go like that, and it's dirt. You know what I mean? You wearing old drawers that got doo-doo stains. You flip them back and forth, inside out. It wasn't about that. You go around him, she's musty, he's musty, breath stink. That's what this is about. It's about cleanliness. Like, we didn't poo in the middle of the camp. So it just goes into how you're supposed to be clean. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
That he see no unclean thing in thee and turn away from thee.
Right. You see that? So, just like the Most High cleaned up our spirit, we haven't done it. We have to do it too, but we got to do a cleanliness class, a health class, because you got a lot of brothers and sisters that do that. They don't know how to take it. They wear dirty clothes. You know what I mean? You wear dirty clothes. Now, I take if this shirt, I put this shirt on, right? If I don't got food on it or drop nothing on it, I don't throw it in the wash and keep washing it. right? Hang it up, take care of it. But if you throw it in a bag of dirty clothes, if you pull it out, it's an issue. But if you go like this, and there's that must line right there, or you got that dirt back, it's time to wash it, homie. All right? You gotta, this is about cleanliness. Like I said, we gotta do a health class, we gotta do a cleanliness class. You know, you gotta, we're Hebrew Israelites, princes. When you think of a king or a prince, you think of a prince or a king taking his shirt out, a dirty bag, musty as hell, and throwing it on? No. You know what I mean? You got a lot of families like that, man. Husbands and wives that just dirty as hell. Now, you know, I do confess, if my rib being a Virgo, she probably say I'm still messy, because you know how Virgos are. They're meticulous. They're like, you know what I mean? If this is in the wrong place, then you're not right. But I'm talking about just right around cleanliness. You know, brushing your teeth, taking a shower at least once a day. You know, that's what this is about. It's about cleanliness. So we didn't poo in the middle of the camp. Most I said he's there with us. I don't want that defiledness with you. Get that out of there. Yeah.
No, just to add on if I can, because I've seen this and I've heard this before, and it's just kind of crazy to me. But one thing we got to real quick go to Leviticus chapter 15 and verse 19. This is for women, obviously, but you gotta remember this, because the weirdest thing I ever heard of is like women to be like, oh, these are my period panties, like, you know, I wear these, and you know, it's real. We adults, and you got to realize that everything is unclean. Like you're engrafting your thought process into what the Most High is trying to formulate you to, and you think it's right because you put an attitude behind it, or you get offended when we're learning, like you said, about the cleanliness of things. But read this.
Leviticus chapter 15, verse 19. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days.
So we understand that we're not in our kingdom where we can't have our place to send off our women to go chill for 7 days. And we understand we have to be around each other. But one thing you got to understand is you can't force your thought process of what God has already ordained, how we carry ourselves, and how we're supposed to deal as men and women amongst each other. This is one of the laws. Read.
And whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean until the evening.
So knowing that this is a very serious event when a woman's cleansing her body, these are laws to show that, number one, we're not supposed to even be dealing with each other. And number two, this is not an item that after you're done, you fold it up and put it back in the drawer. These are things that are thrown out because it has a spirit on it.
What are you saying?
Because like when I grew up,
I'm trying to figure out why you're quoting this.
Because when I grew up, because you were talking about cleanliness.
Are you saying that ribs be wearing panties?
Like specifically just for that, like they're like, yeah, these are like I've seen it in a lot of relationships.
Oh, you're saying that you don't supposed to wear those same panties that you was wearing on your menstrual cycle.
Right, and then that's just for months and months and months.
You got
that gotta go because everything is about cleanliness. That's why that scripture he pulled was so powerful, because the Most High can't dwell. He said, listen, if the house is unclean, I can't dwell therein. So everything, even the garments that we use for particular things have to be thrown. Even men, like it says, when we touch certain things and we do certain things, we have to be careful because we're going through a cycle of purification. Women are being purified. So we have to keep ourselves clean, and we have to pay attention to the law because that's what keeps us clean. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to show that because I've been in relationships and women have been like, yeah, I wear these for this. And I'm like, but you've been having them for months. It's like, yeah, but I wear these for this. And it's like, yeah, but the Bible tells you that these things are to be thrown out. Like, that's the whole point of having things renewed so that you can have a new spirit about yourself. Not, oh, I thought you got to see it's about us being clean and about our spirit being clean. So I just wanted to pull that just because he pulled this about our bodies. Because it don't just go for brothers. We got sisters that are coming in that don't know certain things, that are taught certain things. So it's our job to point these things out and show them to them.
Yeah. I'm just looking here, see if there's any other questions. Okay, but hopefully we answered that question, sis. Melissa had asked that. I'm just checking to see if we got any more. Does anybody have any questions in here? Okay, what you got, sis?
Adding on to the cleanliness question, is it wrong to have pets? I know like pets can be tedious.
No, it's not wrong to have pets. We had dogs, but the thing is that we didn't have them like Esau. We weren't licking them in the mouth, tongue kissing them, you know what I mean, laying them in the bed. We didn't do that. Like when you read about Job, he said, I would not have my dogs deal with the cave people, he was talking about Esau in the spirit, but his dogs were on the outside. Our dogs were out. They were used for certain things, hunting, you know what I mean, stuff like that. They weren't used for like, I'm sitting there, I'm letting them run up on me, running by my house. That's not how we had them.
You got a question?
Yeah.
So if you had a dog now, would it have to be outside, like always?
No, not necessarily. I'm just saying, you know how Esau let them run on the bed and then just sleep with them, finger bang them and all that.
They treat it like it's a child.
One of my clients, right, today, she told us right? Today, she was like, yeah, she woke up and her dog was sleeping on a pillow right next to her back to back. I was like, look at this. Nasty, man.
They love that.
But that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like little boy, it's disgusting.
Yeah. They tongue kissed them, put the.
Yeah, and they probably would be messing around with it too.
That's filthy.
No, I see this video of this chick on Facebook. She put like 10.
We're going into transvestites, right? When do you not understand that this is going to go to that level? You know what I mean? They're already trying to create these things and make these things laws. Yeah. Wait, did you ask a question, sis?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it again? The pets. Okay, I so many things, man. I'm thinking here, he said something, and I'm like, okay. All right, did it answer it?
Yeah.
Sis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what you had, huh? You have some?
No, I was just trying to.
Okay. Okay, any other questions? No? Nobody? Okay, because it is 10 o'clock. Have one more in Josephus' book, chapter 3. It says, many angels. Right. Once again, Josephus, history book. This is the man's account. It's not the Bible. Okay, so we use it just like we use any other history book. We bring out certain points, but certain points might be off. So that's what you have to remember about the Josephus. Certain points might not be on point. So that's why you have to use it like that, like any other book. You know what I mean? When we use Arthur Koestler, the 13 tribes, we use articles and points in there that's on point. But sometimes they veer because they don't believe in the Bible. Or they don't understand the Bible. So that's what you have to take in mind. The points I bring out in the Josephus is going to be with the Bible. I'm not going to bring out other points that may not concur with the scriptures. So you have to know that reading it. Okay? All right. So that was her next question. That was her question also. All right. Does anybody have any other questions? All right. Announcements. Did you give any announcements at the beginning?
No, sir.
You went straight into your class.
Yeah, I just said anybody got any donations or anything that I can go into Purim or Passover.
Okay, so Purim is coming up on the 20th of February. All right. And I'm waiting to see if they got any other questions also. But Purim is coming up on the 20th of February. Passover, you said, is on
27th of March.
27th of March. Okay. We got to get on it then.
It's gonna be here?
We got to get on it. Yeah, it's going to be here again. Yes.
So, S.O.W said when you all went out to the
The summit?
The brothers, I guess, collectively decided to keep everything in order and do it together.
Mhm.
So is that March 27th gonna stay? That's
Wait, say it. You. I didn't hear that last.
that March 27th is going to stay, remain, everybody's doing it on the same day.
I have to talk to him, but if we got March 27th, yeah, March 27th. And for y'all, we're trying to do it to where everybody's in unity. All these camps are in unity. So bear with us on that. But for right now, March 27th is the day. Okay? All right. Anybody want to help out with that? We would appreciate it. We buy the land, we get the location. We've gotten some money, but we need to get, it's a lot. So if y'all want to help out with that, feel free to help out. All right. Pure Rim, that's coming up. Come join us. Come join us. We're going to eat. We're going to rejoice and celebrate the high holy day. What else? What else we got? What other announcements? Listen, does anybody got any ideals? If y'all got any ideals for the school, shoot them. You know what I mean? You brothers and sisters online. If y'all want to send pens, papers, pencils, computers, anything to give to the school, we would appreciate it.
Sisters doing garments, so if anybody interested in having
Oh yeah, that anybody needs garments. We got some bad sisters that get down and make nice garments. All right. We've had people ask for garments, but every time we tell them the price, I be telling my rep, I'm like, listen, tell them to go buy the stuff, then we'll do the work. You know what I mean? Because you know Israel's like, that's a lot. Well, you got to buy the stuff. Then the work comes in. So, you know, we've been encountered with that a lot. You know, a lot of people will be like, they'll go to Israel Wear on Facebook. That's our other web page, or our other page showing all the garments that the sisters have done. They just did a Zion Allah's garment, and it's dope. It's nice, you know. But once again, a garment like that garment, they didn't charge you for making it. See, that garment itself costs how much? Anybody? I know that, was that the one you won?
The one you won, yeah.
That was the one you won for the, that maybe was like 150, maybe to 170. That was just to make the garment. That was for the material for what you're doing. A lot of people don't understand that. You know, so, you know, they do make the garments. If you go to Israel Wear on Facebook, you can see all the beautiful garments the sisters get down on. You know, they do that. Just keep in mind, you know, if you got to hook up on material and stuff, hallelujah. Get the material. Be like, if sister can sew it up, give the design, and you just give them a little something for sewing it up, they can do that also. Okay? All right. Yeah.
I think we were supposed to do another raffle at Purim as well. Didn't you say?
Are we?
Raffle at Purim.
Yeah.
Khan, any other questions? Anything else?
Is there a particular, like, do we, like, for Passover, I know brothers like to be in unity, is a particular, like, color or something we go on with the garments?
Do you remember the colors? Yeah.
Blue, green, and then based on the rank, it'll be white, silver.
Right. Well, y'all know the garments that are done. I mean, if your red is over there helping with the garments, it's all going to be one. Whatever rank you are, then that's what. Yeah, she would know. She would know. All right, let me just check here real quick before we get out of here. Once again, I'm gonna say it one more time. Please let brothers and sisters know about our YouTube channel. These bastards, man, they blocked us from going live from our channel due to copyright. That means that we probably put an image up that they wanted to mess with us on. And it couldn't have been all that big of a deal, but they did block our live streaming. So that's why we've been sending y'all this link out from my YouTube. So we gotta let all these other brothers and sisters know about that. Okay? So we're just letting y'all know that our YouTube, it's only the live that's down. You can still go on there and go to the videos, all the old videos. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna, like this class tonight, we'll download it and we'll put it up on our other channel. So I just wanted to let y'all know that in case you do get a hold of these other brothers and sisters. Because usually, man, we've had like 25 to 30 people online. We've only had today 14 the most. It's because a lot of people don't know what happened. So just letting y'all know that. All right? Jesus, man. I'm trying to get that. So any other announcements? Any other announcements? Anything? Let me check this real quick online, and then somebody can go ahead and log off that. If not, let me see if they had any other questions. What's your thoughts on the lunar Sabbath? The lunar Sabbath? You talking about the when you say lunar Sabbath? Is that the new moon? Are you talking about new moons?
They probably talking about reading the moon and stuff like that.
On the lunar Sabbath, are you talking about new moons? Let him get that, and then yeah, because they get the feed late, man. But if you're talking about new moons, yeah, you know, there's brothers that do the new moon Sabbath, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it, doing the new moon Sabbaths. But we know the original Sabbath doesn't change. It's just the new moon Sabbath comes into play also. Okay, so, you know, hopefully that answers your question on that. There's nothing wrong with that. What's up? Oh. Right, was there any other questions on there? No? Okay. All right, well, wait till we catch up, and then everybody say shalom to them online.
Shalom.
But you don't have to, not yet. Wait till it catches. Yeah. And then, all right, otherwise, if that's it, nobody has any questions, anything, I might as well put your hakodam, which is right in 6 east.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not the only ones that did legs this. Everybody's legs.
That was Do You Believe Was Tonight?
Huh?
Sounds like time you believe.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'asham,
Ba'asham,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai,
What Yahweh,
What Yahweh,
for your wisdom, your patience,
your
mercy,
mercy,
the water for the school,
the water for the school,
brothers,
brothers,
the sisters,
the sisters,
the office, teaching, spreading your word, fill us, with your true spirit, remove doubt, pride, and envy, out of me, away from me, from around me, Yahweh, fill me with your true spirit, love, long suffering, patience, kindness, brotherhood, sisterhood, Yahweh, strengthen me with your Holy Spirit, show the doubters, show the faithless, that you are the power, Yahweh's the power, Yahweh's the power, Yahweh's the power, we ask of you, Yahweh, have mercy upon us, in all of our endeavors, in everything we do, bless the works of our hand, everything we put our
our hands to.
Everything we put our hands to.
Not to consume it.
Not to consume it.
On our own lust.
On our own lust.
But to use it.
But to use it.
To do your work.
To do your work.
To do your will.
To do your will.
Baba Kushah.
Baba Kushah.
Shammai.
Shammai.
For Lord now.
For Lord now.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hear our prayers.
Hear our prayers.
Hear our cries.
Hear our cries.
We ask of you.
We ask of you.
To heal the sick.
To heal the sick.
Brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
Remove sickness.
Remove sickness.
Illness.
Illness.
Disease.
Disease.
Of the body.
Of the body.
Of the mind.
Of the mind.
Of the spirit.
Of the spirit.
Remove it from them.
Remove it from them.
From out of them.
From out of them.
From around them.
From around them.
Protect them.
Protect them.
Heal them.
Heal them.
Heal us.
Heal us.
Heal them.
Heal them.
Heal us.
Heal us.
In your son's name.
In your son's name.
We pray.
We pray.
Bahashem Yahushua.
Bahashem Yahushua.
The Wadi Yahweh.
The Wadi Yahweh.
For your word.
For your word.
Your son.
Your son.
For your grace.
For your grace.
The Wadi Yahweh.
The Wadi Yahweh.
Deliver us.
Deliver us.
Do what you promised.
Do what you promised.
Save your servants.
Save your servants.
Save Israel.
Save Israel.
Deliver Israel.
Deliver Israel.
Deliver your nation.
Deliver your nation.
Because you promised it.
Because you promised it.
Do it, Yahweh.
Do it, Yahweh.
Send your angels.
Send your angels.
Send your son.
Send your son.
As promised.
As promised.
Bahashem Yahushua.
Bahashem Yahushua.
The water.
The water.
Lamyad.
Lamyad.
Aman.
Aman.
Yahweh.
Bahashem. Bahashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Barak.
Barak.
Lano.
Lano.
Wah. Yasha'Allah.
Yasha'Allah.
Wahabaya.
Support. Support.
Turn. Yahweh. Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Barak.
Barak.
Lano.
Lano.
Wah. Yasha'Allah.
Yasha'Allah.
Wahabaya. Support.
Support.
Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Barak.
Lano.
Lano.
Wah.
Yasha'Allah.
Yasha'Allah.
Wahabaya. Support.
Support.
Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Barak. Lano.
Wah.
Yasha'Allah.
Yasha'Allah.
Wahabaya. Support.
Support.
Barak Yahweh. Barak Yahushua.
Barak.
All wisdom.
All wisdom.
All knowledge.
All knowledge.
And all understanding.
And all understanding.
Baba Kushah.
Baba Kushah.
Look not on us for our faults.
Look not on us for our fault.
Look not on us for our faults.
Look not on us for our fault.
But for our growth.
For our growth.
And wash and cleanse our mind.
And wash and cleanse our mind.
From all lust.
From all lust.
Doubt.
Envy.
Lasciviousness.
Lasciviousness.
Backbiting.
Backbiting.
Murmuring.
Murmuring.
And contention.
And contention.
Put in us.
Put in us.